Yo, what's going on, everybody? What's popping? Happy Saturday to you. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in on this nice Saturday, man. The day of college football. So hope y'all enjoying these college football games so far. We want to check in, man, and pretty much talk about the latest Falcons news. Of course, the Falcons have cut, they have released YoungHoe Koo. So we want to jump in and talk about that. Before we get started, let me introduce the panel that's currently on the show with me at this point in time. We got Coach in the building from the Coach's Corner. We also got Winston Thorne in the building from the Eye Test. Gentlemen, how we doing today?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Doing wonderful.
What's going on, fella? How y'all feeling?
Hey, doing great, man. Doing absolutely great, absolutely great. Also, let me read off the chat that we just got real quick here that's coming in. And I don't have my glasses on from MVM 1978. Our guy MVM is in the building. What's happening, MVM? He says, "What's up, Tidy? Rise up. Let's go 2-1 tomorrow." What's up to you also, MVM, man? Hope you're having a great Saturday, having a good weekend. And I really strongly feel that we will be 2-1 right at this time tomorrow. You know, exactly 24 hours from now, our game will be ending unless we happen to go into overtime. So I definitely see the Falcons being 2-1 tomorrow. We also got RJ Falcon in the house. Good afternoon, big homie Tidy. Finally able to catch you live, been a part of the replay gang lately. Shout out to the replay gang. And I appreciate you coming in, RJ. Yeah, you know, normally I typically go late in the later hours, nighttime. So, you know, this is a very rare daytime live stream for me. So thanks for coming in. 82 Monte Carlo in the house. I finally caught it on time. Yes, you did, man. That's on me though. Like I was just telling RJ, man, I normally be on the late show, you know, so that's really on me. But we're gonna go ahead and hop into our first topic, y'all. As everybody knows, the Falcons release YoungHoe Koo. We cut YoungHoe Koo, and he was our kicker for I want to say 6 years. I think it was. Well, actually, it's the 7th year. Seventh year this season, and he essentially replaced Matt Bryant, who was also a long-time great kicker. If nothing else, we have had some, you know, pretty great kickers come through the fold during these last 30 years of Falcons football. So shout out to everybody who's kicking football for us. YoungHoe Koo, he started off, he's pretty much set this franchise on fire kicking the football. He kicked some big kicks for us. He's won a lot of games for us. He had a very memorable kick last year against New Orleans when he hit 57-yard or 58-yard, I think it was. But his play, as y'all already know, it really has started to decline. To be honest, his kicking had been declining for quite a long time. When he first came to the Falcons, which was in 2019, he was making right at about 89% of his field goals. In 2020, he increased that, made about 95% of his field goals. And around that time, you know, the Falcons gave him a very big contract, and they made him a top 5 kicker. And at that point in time, he deserved it. Top 5 paid kicker, I should say. And then in 2021, it dropped a little bit to 93.1% of the kicks he made. And after the 2021 season, Koo was never the same kicker. Not saying he still wasn't a good kicker, but he is never the same kicker that he had been those first 2 to 3 years with Atlanta. In 2022, he went down to 86.5%. 23, he went down to 86.5%, and then 2024, he was just absolutely terrible. He went down to 73.5%, which is horrific for a kicker. And this year so far, he'd only made 66.7% of his kicks. Now, if you ask me, I felt like going into this past offseason, they probably should have got rid of Koo this past offseason, but I feel like the coaching staff, maybe the general manager also felt like, you know, hey, let's give him one more shot, you know, one more go at it. And, you know, him missing that kick in Tampa probably contributed to us losing the game. But once again, I think they should have been more assertive this offseason. If you're not going to get rid of him, have a kicking competition, which technically they did with Lenny Craig, but it is what it is. He was released, and he posted something on his Instagram, which was very noble of him. Thanking the Atlanta Falcons, thanking Falcons fans. He was definitely a fan favorite. If you go to a Falcons game at home, anytime he was coming out there to kick, you heard their cool. The whole stadium was said in unison. So he was a fan favorite, but it was time to move on, especially after the Tampa game. So I'm gonna go to the panel, y'all. What do y'all think about the Falcons releasing Koo?
Well, for me, like I 100% agree with what you said. It should have been done last year, or at least in the off season. You can't have a kicker who steadily declines year over year, and then have the horrendous kicking performance he had in 2024. That was just god awful. That alone should have probably got him removed from his job. But the crazy thing is to hear your head coach say that he doesn't he didn't get rid of him because he has built up sweat equity with him. Like, what? Like, dude, if somebody is not producing, F your sweat equity, replace him with someone who can get the job done. That's what I don't understand about my Falcons, is tend to hold on to players far, far, far too long. Like, look at Grady. I just seen they were talking about him on one of the sports shows the other day. I mean, he just looks horrible. We just hold on to people entirely too long. And Koo needed to go at the end of the season, in the off season. Great what he did for us when he was on top of his game, but he 5 times undefeated. So if he's not producing, replace him. Thank you for all you did. But time to move on. So
very well said. What about you, Winston?
I mean, me personally, we should have cut him. We should have cut him as soon as the season ended. Like, there's no getting around that. Like, Koo was on the trajectory where he could have rivaled Justin Tucker as the most accurate kicker of all time. He was on that trajectory, but as soon as he got a paycheck, as soon as he got his bag, it was all downhill. It just continuously, precipitously went downhill. And that alone, like, I'm sorry, especially like with what his percentage for last year, there was no reason for you to come back. I could see like he was in a position where we couldn't find someone else to replace you, but that's obviously not the case. So there was no reason for Koo to come back. And then in training camp, I'm sorry, they say that Koo outkicked Creed, but I'm inclined to believe that's not the case. I think that was more of coach speak that they gave out to the fans to justify why Koo was starting. I would have went with Craig and let him just learn on the fly.
it definitely was coach speak, because Raheem flat out said that Koo has sweat equity with him and the team. So that's really how he got the job. I agree with you. I don't think he outkicked him, but again, you got a dumbass coach saying something stupid, and then like what, a couple weeks later you cut him, and it doesn't bode well for your what's the word I'm looking for your assessment, sir.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Koo did outkick him in training camp. If you out, just like y'all, I was following the Falcons reporters, and they was all keeping stats of their kicking. And technically, Koo did outkick him in training camp. Lenny Craig had a bigger, like we say, bigger arm. He had a bigger leg, meaning he had more power. But once we got to camp, his accuracy wasn't there, which is why they didn't move Craig up to the starting job when they released Koo. They went and got somebody else. So Koo did win that competition, but honestly, Craig probably just wasn't the correct competitor to have compete against Koo. But my bad. Go
Exactly.
ahead, Winston.
Well, I mean, along the lines of what you were just saying, we could have had three other kickers come in and competed with all of them. Let the best man win. I'm sorry, like Raheem left in what 20? I mean, 2018. That was Koo first season with us, wasn't it?
I
I
think
want to say when Raheem left, that was
I think
Koo
he came
first
in
season.
19. Koo
Who?
came here in
Koo?
19.
Oh, well then I don't know why he got sweat acting. All you had was the season with him. I'm sorry. If we only had one season with each other, and that was literally your career worst season, where's the sweat equity? What have you done? You haven't shown me nothing as a coach. Like, I'm sorry. We could have brought in some kickers, let the best man win, go on and let's go and get on with this season. But I can't sit there and say this. I am proud of them. You can see that the Falcons, the 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 powers that be, are turning the corner. Cause usually we would just roll out the season with this issue. We would have rolled the entire season out with this issue, let the cookies fall, crumble where they fall. But you saw the issue very first game. You corrected that issue in less than a week. I'm proud to see that. So let's keep this momentum going, and that sends a message. That sends a message to your entire team. Hey, ain't nobody playing with y'all. Do your job. Do your
Oh,
job.
all right, and I'm gonna read this comment from 82 Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo says it's easier for us to say that from here, but when you with a person day in and day out, see the family dynamic, you're gonna give him more chances. But y'all not wrong for what y'all saying. So he says he sees the point you making and you're making, Winston, and coach is making, and he also, sees Raheem's, point of view as well.
I mean, that's. I mean, yeah, that is a great observation, and it's absolutely right. But at the same time, as a head coach, the whole weight of the team falls on your shoulders, and sometimes, as bad as it hurts, you know, you got to cut the dead weight. You know what I mean? It's simply that simple. You got to you know cut the dead branch so the tree can grow stronger. You know what I mean? Like it's a necessary evil uh in the sport of any sport. Sometimes you're right. He knows his family dynamic, and that could be the sweat equity that he's talking about, that he's built up. But again, you can't hold 52 other men back, for the sake of one. So yeah, you won, but I mean, it is what it is. It's time to move on. But yeah, you're right.
All right. Also, let's welcome Red to the stage. Let's also welcome James Holloway to the stage. Gentlemen, how we doing today?
I can't complain. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood.
Mr. Rogers. All right. So as y'all know, we talking about YoungHoe Koo or YoungHoe Koo, whatever is the correct pronunciation. No disrespect when I say that. Red, James, whichever one of y'all want to jump in first. What are your thoughts on the Falcons releasing Koo?
You go ahead, Red.
Okay. Look, you got one job to do as a kicker in the NFL, and if you're not doing your job consistently, I'm sorry, it's the team's job to move on from you and get somebody in here that can get the job done. We're talking about a kicker now, not talking about other position. This is a one job thing. This is one job that you got to do. And if you can't do it, dude, you're gonna get replaced. I mean, for a team that we have, our field goal kicker is important. You understand? Because not counting last week's win, for the majority part, Falcons, they love to play close games. Close games, keep them close, edgy seats, suspense thrillers. So if that's gonna be your motto, if that's the type of games you're gonna play at a majority level, then yeah, you have got to have a dependable, consistent kicker. And for the last, say, 2 or 3 seasons, we haven't had that. I mean, Koo hasn't really been that dependable, consistent kicker. I guess what y'all say, what, 2021 season, 2022 at the latest. 2 years ago, 23, he won that because he was missing kicks. Last year, he definitely was missing kicks. Cost us, definitely cost us that Saints game. If I ain't not mistaken, he cost us 1 or 2 more other games. And then we come in this season. We ain't even got the season ain't even really started. You already cost us 1 game. So no, that's it. Tampa Bay was your last straw, buddy. And like Winston and Coach said, your last straw should have been the year before. Why we brought you back this year, I have no idea. But props to the staff for saying, nope, 1 game is enough. I'm not going to let you continue to hold my team back. Get rid of him, bring a new guy in. You saw what he did, 5 field goals versus Minnesota. That's the type of production we have got to have from our kicking position. And if we're not having that type of production, I don't care about the feelings. I don't care about the family dynamic. Get his ass up out of here and get somebody in here that can do the damn job. Simple as that. And we done that right now. Romo, not bad start. We'll see how you do going forward. But if you start to fall off, your ass gonna be out of here too. We're not putting up with folks that are not doing a job. Do the damn job. You're a kicker. You got 1 job to do. Kick the fucking ball through the upright or get the fuck out. Simple as that. Nobody care about emotions and family and feelings. Do it, kick it, or get out. Done.
Real quick, Toddy. I will say this, fellas. Everybody, while we giving our synopsis on Koo, one thing we gotta remember, I'm pretty sure it was Koo. Wasn't it Koo who absolutely leveled somebody one time in the game? I think it was like a kick return. And he basically like smashed him. That was Koo, right?
Yeah, Koo did that a couple times.
It was Matt Bosser.
Yeah, Bosser did it. Koo had a couple of them too.
Okay.
Yeah, the play he's talking about is Bosser took and punted. He punted to Carolina. Dude broke through it. That's when he dropped him on the neck.
Yeah, okay. All right, Bosser.
What do you mean when you say leveled somebody, Coach?
He just punched him. Like he hit him hard. Like I thought it was Koo, but
you talking about when the guy was running back, Koo tackled him or something?
Yeah, tackled him. But yeah, it was Bosser. It wasn't Koo.
It was Bosser right before Bradley Payne got it. Because dude that he tackled, we took it. Matter of fact, he signed with us on the following season.
Okay.
What was it, Bosser or was it Koo?
It was Bosser.
It was Bosser.
The play that he's talking about, it was on the punt.
What I figured, I don't remember Koo getting so hard.
All right, and Jay, before you go, let me shout out to my brother 95 North Falcons Talk Show in the building. What's going on with your Birdo? And y'all make sure that y'all do follow Birdo here on YouTube as well. Also on Twitter, one of the great Falcons content creators out there, so make sure that you are following him on all social media platforms. He says, does this decision show growth in Coach Raheem? Typically not something we're used to. He's a very, very loyal individual. And James, since it's your turn, I'm gonna let you address that question, and then what else you want to say about us releasing Koo? You got the floor.
First off, before I begin, how y'all fellas doing?
What's happening, James?
What's up, man?
I'm on more lines with Coach Red and Winston. When you look at Koo has been inconsistent for the last 2 years. Some games he'll be on, and then there's those certain games that we need. Like Red say, we as a team, the Falcons are in more. They be in more close games than blowouts. To be honest with you, and you need that kicker to get us most of the time over that hump so we can get that W. And Koo has been inconsistent in that area. So it was time for him to go. Unfortunately, but it is what it is. The NFL is a business. When it comes to what 95 North Falcons talk show, I say it's more growth within the management and Ra when it comes to that. Because it goes from top to down with Arthur Blank. Because Arthur Blank is a loyalist to his players and keeping his players, even beyond when they supposed to been gone from the team. So when you see something like this of that nature, I think it's a more growth from Ra all the way up to Terry to Arthur. I got to include them too as well with this because it is still a group decision at the end of the day from Terry to Ra when it comes to making the decisions over the rosters over the teams. Um, it's setting the tone because it's time to get it done. That's basically what it's saying in all area aspects of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. And pretty much, yeah, it is a growth. And I'll move on. I'll digress from that.
What do y'all think? Do y'all think us releasing Koo shows growth from Coach Raheem Morris?
As I meant to say this last year. First, let me say, what's up, Berto? I catch you all the time on the NFC South round table, brother. Stop letting TJ get you, man. I understand you gotta be diplomatic, but I be screaming that about TV. But
We lost your sign, Coach. I don't know if you hit mute or something.
Doc, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. I was saying last week, man, Ty to be proud of me because I actually gave Raheem props. I actually seen they showed it on TV, him on the sideline, like hype, showing some emotion. And I was like, okay, this is what I've been asking for. Like he was, I forgot what it was. I think it was the delay of game. It was something. No, they stopped him on fourth down, and he actually got hyped with his players. So that plus this, I will say, yeah, it shows me, someone who is not a fan of Raheem. It shows me growth for me, and I can't speak for no one else, but it definitely put him in a different light in my eyes. Even though it was too late, even though it should have been done, in the off season, like Red said, at least they did it because normally we would ride that freight train all the way till the wheels fall off. So yeah, for me, growth and ride. I'm happy I seen what I seen last week, and I'm happy now. So good job, Rob. Credit where credit's due.
All right. Well, seems to be that most people said that it did show some growth in Raheem Morris. Him grabbing his balls and making that decision. And also I was actually at the no, I wasn't at that game, but that no, I was at the game. I was at the Tampa Bay game, the first game, and I'm gonna tell y'all, man, the way the crowd reacted inside the bins when he missed that kick, man, I don't want to say that it left Raheem with no choice, but it just Koo sucked up all the energy, from everybody that was in the stadium. So, I'm sure that made the decision to move on from Koo a lot easier. Let me hop in these comments real quick, y'all, and we'll move on. Ghost Pepper's in the building. What's going on with your ghosts? What's good, Falcons family? What's happening with you? That one Falcons fan, so Matt Bosher had one too. 82 Monte Carlo picked him up right off his feet. See what else we got here. And this is Berta responding to you, Coach. I feel bro got to keep it professional on the NFC roundtable. This from Coach here, and 82 Monte Carlo says the whole organization gotta let they nuts hang. Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. I knew when they grabbed JPJ aside from the reports. Yeah, and a lot of people was saying that was a bad move to move back up or to trade back up into the first round. But man, that has paid incredible dividends thus far, and man, and we are seeing a superstar on the rise. And normally I don't give people them kind of props until they've somewhat earned it more than JPJ has. But man, you see this guy's talent. It pops off the film when you see him play. King Rich in the building. What's going on, King Rich? Y'all make sure to check King Rich out on YouTube. Also, recently started his YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed to him, make sure that you go show him a bunch of love as well. He says, what's good, family? The Panthers still think they're about to play Jimmy Lake defense. No, we got a brand new defense coordinator. And I think even more impactful, we got a bunch of new defensive talent on that side of the ball. So this is definitely not Jimmy Lake's defensive old that we saw last year. And with that said, y'all, I think most of us said what we wanted to say about Koo. So we're going to move to our next topic here, gentlemen. Let's jump to this report that came out either Thursday or Friday. It was within the last couple of days. It was a report that said the Atlanta Falcons, and this came from Diana Rossini. I'm about 95% sure it was her that reported it. Falcons still are not looking to trade Kirk Cousins, and the funny thing is, I remember the press conference when Terry was like, yeah, we're comfortable keeping him as a backup. I really thought that was GM speak, him trying to keep as much leverage as he possibly can. But the Falcons have been steadfast on that. Yeah, we're going to keep Kirk. We done paid him. The check done cleared. If anything goes wrong with Michael Penix, hey, we got us a great backup. I want y'all to tell me in y'all opinions and y'all perspectives. Do you think it's a good idea to keep Kirk, or do you go like, look, let's get something for him now while we can? Because as we all know, he won't be here next year. There's probably a 97% chance he won't be here next year. Or do you just, hey, man, let's get what we can get and go ahead and move on? We like what we see from Michael Penix. So what do y'all think? Good idea, bad idea to keep Kirk on this roster?
I'll start first. I think this is, for once, Coach doesn't know what to say. I truly don't know. On one hand, you can't keep him because God forbid Penix goes down. You still have somewhat of a competent quarterback in the backfield that could possibly win you games. On top of that, his salary has already been paid, so teams know that, so they're probably not offering a whole lot of nothing to get him in their building, because they don't really have to continue with that contract next year, because they probably, any team that picks him up, they're going to cut him next year anyway. So, they're probably trying to get him for next to nothing. So I understand keeping him, but at the same time, with the same boy, his salary has been paid. Maybe you do try and get, a third rounder or try to get something, from a team like, let's say, the Bengals, who've lost their quarterback. Maybe they'll give you King's ransom, to rent, in air quotes, rent Kirk Cousins. So I don't know, man. I think you could really make a case either way. I have no way to lean. That's a hell of a question, and yeah, I'm speechless. I don't know.
Well, at this point, I'm not trading. Not right now. I'll wait till they get closer to the trade deadline, because it's gonna drive his value up. See, like, all right, Cincinnati. Burrow having toe surgery. This talking about he gonna miss like 3 months, with the majority of the season, right? All right, they got Jake Browning as the backup. Let Browning play a couple of games. Let him play a couple of games. Let them see what they got, and if they think they may be able to salvage their season by making the trade for Kirk Cousins, the price go up. The value of the trade itself goes up. So no, I'm not trading. I'm perfectly fine with Kirk Cousins. We literally have the best backup quarterback situation in the league. So I'm not rushing to pull a gun. I'm not pulling the trigger right now. I'll wait. Now, if they come in let's say about 4 weeks, 3, 4 weeks, hey, look, I got a second for you, man, or I got a player such and such. We need him. I gotta have him. All right, then yeah, go ahead, you got him. But as of right now, the trade compensation that they were offered at this present moment is not gonna be enough. It ain't gonna be enough. Right now, if they holler at us, they probably talking like a fourth of a fifth or a fifth. Nah, that's not enough. I'm gonna let you fall on your face a little bit. I'll let you fall on your face a little bit. And then when you come back to the table with some good sense and you talking a high third or a second or something, yeah. Now we can do business. But I'm telling them, no, I keep. And what is it? Is six starting quarterbacks that injured already this season? I wait.
Yeah.
Just so I understand, is the question, Toddy, do we trade him at all during the season or right now? Because I wasn't sure if that was, maybe I missed that.
No, that's essentially the question. Is it a good idea to keep Kirk on the roster, or should you go ahead and pursue a trade for him, put him on a trade block?
Okay. No, I was
You gonna
just being clear.
you gonna have to pretty much blow me away with a deal, and I don't see any team blowing me away with a deal. Second, first round, if it ain't none of that, which it probably won't be, he gonna be here rest of the season. He keeps us straight. He keeps our quarterback room stable. Anything go wrong to Michael, we still got him with the way the defense is playing. Hopefully, the rest of the season, having Michael or Kurt in the lineup, that's good for the plan. Don't change. If Kurt went on the team and we had some bum like Easton Stick or some other clown behind Penix, no telling how the plan would change if Michael went down. So no, I want to keep Kurt right here on this team. I'm glad the Falcons don't have any plans to trade him because they shouldn't have any plans to trade him. The time to trade him was during the draft or in the offseason. You missed your boat then. You missed your boat to get a first round or any type of high draft pick, any type of good compensation for him. You missed the boat then, like Winston said. Anything you get now, or when the trade deadline comes, ain't gonna be nothing but a bag of potato chips. So you might as well hold on to the guy. You already don't pay him. Your backup quarterback situation is nice. Your first string quarterback doing his job. So anything go wrong, you still got somebody that can come in and still do the job. Somebody that's familiar with London and Pitts and Mooney and all the rest of the guys we got on the team. So no, our quarterback situation is perfect right now. I wouldn't want to screw that up unless you're gonna blow me out the water with a pick. And I don't foresee anything blowing us out the water with any type of pick at this time going forward. The time to do that was before the season started. Going forward, Kirk, you might well just keep Kirk on the team. You already don't pay him. Your quarterback's room is probably, with the way Penix playing, probably one of the best in the NFL right now. So why screw that up? Your defense is coming along. You got playmakers. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just leave it alone. Don't do nothing dumb, Terry. Remember when I told you at the beginning of the season that you might get out of this mess that you created as long as you don't do nothing dumb. Don't do nothing dumb. They even kill right now unless somebody blows you out the water with a deal you can't refuse. And I don't see that happening for Kirk Cousins no time soon.
Oh,
Don't you, Johnny?
when I look at the whole totality of the situation with Kirk Cousins and the trade market and the whole total aspect of the situation from the beginning to the end, you might as well keep him. You might as well keep him as a backup on the franchise. Um, because for the simple fact, this is the NFL. We're going on a game by game basis with this team. And God forbid something happens to Michael Penix, you are in a sticky quarterback situation.
And you don't want to be a team away that you in a sticky quarterback situation. And then in the mid season, you have you basically gonna be having an open quarterback competition if you trade Kirk Cousins. So it's best to keep him, let him ride out the contract, and then ride him off into the sunset at the end of the season.
I agree. I agree. I agree with everybody. Pretty much what everybody said. Looks like we all in agreement that hey man, go ahead and just keep Kirk Cousins. He's here, young quarterback. Even though we think Penix has a hell of a potential, still his first year starting. So go ahead and ride it out. We done paid that money already. So not these first two topics we all have been in pretty much agreement with, which is not normally the case on a panel. So let's jump to a different topic, and maybe we can get some difference of opinions. If not, that's totally cool. There was some talk, there was some heavy talk going into this offseason about banning the tush push, which to their credit, the Philadelphia Eagles have mastered. I did not fact check this, but I saw or I read somewhere that they convert on that tush push about 98% of the time, which is damn near perfect. So it did go up when they had the owners meeting. Banning the tush push was on the voting docket, and they did not get enough votes to ban it. I think they were maybe a couple or a few votes away. Now, there was some controversy that we just witnessed on one of the primetime games. It was either Sunday night or Monday night. I think it might have been Monday night, but it was a rematch of the Super Bowl, coincidentally. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And, of course, the Eagles were running the tush push. And I'm sure y'all have seen it, but there was one time they ran it when both of the Eagles guards were offsides. And, you're looking at all these angles, and, the offensive formation is not a typical offensive formation in terms of how the offensive line is set up. And then the counter argument was, well, look at Kansas City defense. They're in the neutral zone themselves. So if both teams are offsides, in my opinion, it makes that a very tough play to officiate properly. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I was on the side of the fence. Nah, man, don't ban the tush push, man. Play football. That's because I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to it, to be totally honest. Lately, especially this year, in this last game, I started to pay attention to it. And it looks like to me the Eagles were all sides and they were lined up incorrectly every time they ran it. So I have flipped my position. I hope and I think the tush push should be banned this off season. I think this is the last year that it should be allowed to be ran. And again, like I say, if the argument is the defense and the offense are both offsides, then it's a hard play for the officials to officiate. So now I'm on the team. Ban the tush push, get rid of it. What are y'all thoughts?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm also on that side of the fence with you as well, Tidy. Not because of the play, because like you, if you can't stop the play, then I mean that's your fault. But like you, I really didn't pay attention. Now, watching the game, I seen how incredibly hard it is on the officials to see where the ball is. Like, if you watch the play, it's just like it's total mayhem, and you have no idea where that ball is. Like, at least for a regular goal line play, you can kind of everyone's not just jumbled up right there, and you can kind of see where the ball goes. But the tush push, and the moment that ball is hiked, you have no idea. They showed it from all different angles. It was like, we don't even know if he got the first down or not. You know, and they showed it from all different angles. You cannot see where that ball is any shape, form, or fashion. So, I mean, if a referee can't tell, something that, like if you got the first down or this, then yeah, I mean, maybe it needs to be redone. I don't know, but if it makes it impossible for the referees to officiate the game, then yeah, I think you got to kind of take it out. That's just my thoughts.
So I saw when was it, yesterday? I want to say yesterday, either yesterday or the day before. There was an ESPN alert that said that the NFL has told the officiating, all the officials to uh govern the tush push more strictly, right? So if the offense is lining up offside, call it. If the defense is offside, call it. Now, with them cracking down on the tush push, I think the tush push itself gonna rule itself out. It's gonna ban itself out because the effectiveness of the tush push when they was executing it illegally, that's gonna fall down. Like that, the success of the tush push is like in the mid '90s, right? With them sitting there cracking down on the offsides from both sides, especially to the offense, yeah, like it's gonna rule itself out. But when they go to the owner meeting, they definitely gonna ban it. It was almost banned this last owner meeting. I think they were like six. I think it was like six votes short or something. But yeah, it's gonna be gone. It'll be gone after this season. You seeing the end of
Tidy, what was the question?
Do you think the tush push should be banned?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I guess I agree with everything Coach and Winston said then. Well, I mean, it's still like Winston said, definitely going once they put it to vote next season, I don't think they're gonna allow it to pass because they're gonna definitely put it on the ballot to vote again. I think it's definitely gonna be outlawed in the next owners meeting. So yeah, you better enjoy it, Eagles, while you can.
Yeah, and before you go, James, Ghost Pepper says the massive pile of players makes it difficult for referees to monitor for pre-snap penalties. Yes, it should be banned, and that's pretty much a mirror of what Coach mentioned that his issue with the tush push was is. James, what you got on this?
Yeah, it should be banned. Yeah, it's the difficultness of monitoring the tush push because it may be a critical portion in the game, and Philly may end up pulling out the tush push. It might be an offside that the referee may miss. It may be an encroachment that the referees may miss. And if you can't see it, it can't be called. And it may be the total different aspect of the game. Um, but on the other side of tush push can be stopped. As we remember last year when we played Philly, we stopped the tush push, correct? So it can be stopped on the end.
Oh, we
Um,
stopped it. We
yeah, we
stopped it.
stopped. We
Oh
too. Yeah.
yeah. That's what
yeah,
I'm
we
talking
stopped.
about. Stop it, baby. Tush
They
push,
went
yeah.
they went 1 for 2 on them.
One for
Or
Yeah.
two.
yeah, it
What the
was like
hell we
1 for 2,
complaining
or it was
about
like
then?
one.
We can
It was
stop
either
it.
1 for 2 or it was 1 for 3.
We definitely can stop it now. We stopped it last year with Jimmy Lake. We definitely can stop it with Jeff Olgrich.
All you gotta do get
So,
low man win.
so,
Go ahead, Jan.
but so it should be outlawed. Atlanta voted. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact Atlanta voted to get it banned last year. This last past off season as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Raheem
Um,
was vocal in saying he didn't like it.
right.
Ain't no
And
point in getting our players hurt.
so the tush push needs to be banned because it's real critical portions and aspect that y'all pointed out that I agree with. And I'm just thinking about the overall safety of the players because you get low. You never know what type of injury can come from them tush pushes. And the players and what Nick Sirianni is doing and the type of injury he may have. on his offensive line if he keep doing that touch push. So yeah, I agree. It needs to be banned.
All right, so we are all in agreement that the tush push needs to be banned, and kind of like everybody has said, I think this is the last we will see of it this season, because Coach pointed out that it was actually 2 votes from being banned, and I think I saw somewhere on TV that it was all NFC teams who voted against banning it, but the big blow up that we just seen with how that stuff was called the other night, it's out of here. And you get so much blowback from it now, even we talking about it, you know what I mean? So it's on its way out of here for sure. Let's go ahead and jump to our next topic, guys, and maybe we will have.
It had to be the Chiefs tight to get it out of here, didn't it?
Yeah. But even that, man, I feel like it was any team that they played, man. When you on that stage, I'm pretty sure that was Monday night when everybody watching, and how them boys were jumping off sides and then we gonna get called. Like, people gonna complain about that. It's gonna go to social media. But let's go ahead and hop to the next subject. Yo, we still around the NFL. Let's talk about Shedeur Sanders. During the draft and coming into the draft, that was definitely a polarizing topic of discussion. And there's a reason that I'm bringing this back up here, going into week 3 of NFL games. Adam Schefter put out a report this past week that said the Baltimore Ravens were looking to draft Shedeur, I think in the 5th round. And Shedeur, and I'm doing a lot of paraphrasing here because I'm not looking at the exact tweet or the report, but Shedeur basically told him, no, don't draft me. I don't want Baltimore to draft me. And there was a lot of talk, a lot of discussion, and a lot of debate on, whether the NFL was freezing him out, were they trying to teach him and also Deion a lesson. And once that report came out, Cam Newton actually spoke on it. And I'm going to take a moment to play this quick segment from Cam Newton's podcast, 4th and 1, and then we're gonna discuss this topic. Here it goes.
Nothing but it. My source tells me that it wasn't just the Baltimore Ravens. Mm-hmm. It was 3 teams: the Cleveland Browns, right, with Andrew Berry being the GM. It was the Philadelphia Eagles with obviously Howie Roseman, the general manager, and it also was Baltimore Ravens with Eric DeCosta, right?
Well, let me get this straight. You saying Cleveland called Shedeur, Baltimore, and Philly called Shedeur?
Per my sources, there were 3 teams that was in communications with thinking about drafting Shedeur.
Okay, so that's Cam Newton's spill on it. Cam says his source, and as we know, I'm pretty sure Cam is pretty plugged in, being a former MVP quarterback. But beyond that, Schefter said it was 1 team, and now Cam comes back and said, hey, my source said there's 2 more teams in this. And this is my thought on it, and then I'm going to pass them out to y'all. If Schefter is saying 1 team, Cam is saying there's 2 teams, then that leads me to believe there probably was more teams in this trail of don't draft me, I don't want to go to this team. And then going back 2 years ago, you had Deion doing a media tour saying that he'd only let his boys play for certain teams, and and that led all the way up to the draft. And then Shedeur was kind of saying his things. So I want to ask the panel now. I'm gonna tell y'all my beliefs. I don't believe that there was some conspiracy against Shedeur Sanders. I think Deion and Shedeur just played their cards wrong, and they turned off a lot of head coaches. They turned off a lot of GMs, and I'm sure they turned off some owners too. But I don't think there was a massive conspiracy to teach Deion a lesson or to show Shedeur or humble him or anything like that. I just think it was stuff like this that kept happening. Like, if you continue to tell teams, don't draft me, I don't want to play there, that's what they're going to eventually do. That's exactly what they're going to do. And this is just more in that entire Shedeur Sanders draft saga of his team or his side or him or Deion saying, don't draft him, don't draft him, don't draft him. So I want to ask the panel now, how do you feel after hearing stuff like this about Shador? You know, so whoever want to jump off first, you got the floor, and we'll continue to talk about it.
Man,
I mean, oh, go ahead.
It's looking like they just played the cards wrong, man. I mean, when you look at the situation he's in now, even though you can say he's in a situation where he feel he might have a quicker chance to start, dude, you got respected organizations like the Eagles and the Ravens, teams that are known for winning, calling you and you turning them down. I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to get my foot in the door. And if I got respected teams, it's like I'm say it in the entertainment version, Winston. Say I'm a out of work actor. And I'm just trying to get my foot in the door. And I got respected directors, Spielberg, Scorsese, Nolan, telling me you just give me a part. You'll give me a part in one of your next few films. Dude, I'm trying to get my foot in the door. And I got respected organizations like the Eagles and the Ravens calling me up saying, we want you to be part of our team. Damn, who's starting there right now? I don't know what the future gonna bring. I don't care if Lamar is starting there right now. I don't care if Hurts is starting there right now. I'm saying, hell yeah, bring me in. I don't want to get stuck with a loser team like the Browns, because look what's going on now. Look how silly the Browns look. Look at the bullshit that he don't had to endure since the Browns called his fucking name on draft night, or 2 days after draft night. But anyway, I just think, like you say, Tidy, I think, now I'm not saying, look, if it is an NFL conspiracy, the way Dion and Shador acting, you doing a hell of a job of disguising it, because y'all are actually helping the NFL cover up their conspiracy by the way you're acting. Because just take the Sanders name out of it, Tidy. Let's just say it's Shador Jackson and Dion Jackson. They not even famous, and they acting the same way. Is anybody gonna draft them in the first round?
No.
Right. Is anybody might not take them in the second or third round? I'm saying acting the same way they are, but just take the names away. So if it's a conspiracy out there, we'll never know, because the teams are acting the same way they would have whether it was to be a conspiracy or it wasn't a conspiracy, just by the way Shador and Dion are acting, just by the way they playing their cards. We'll never know the truth, because these guys are doing a good job of alienating teams their damn self. Whether the NFL told them to alienate them or the teams themselves are choosing to alienate them. I'm saying the way they played their cards, that's not normal. That's not what normal rookies do. That's not what the families of normal rookies do, especially if you're a guy trying to get your foot in the door. You was not this big, like, can't miss prospect like a Peyton Manning or a John Elway or Andrew Luck. Yeah, you was a talented quarterback coming out, just like the other kid. Cam Ward was a talented quarterback coming out. No, nobody's saying you were trash, but you weren't up on that level to where a team was like, okay, y'all, if we don't take them, we making a huge mistake. Hell no, dude, you ain't that guy now, but you are a talented enough quarterback, and you really shouldn't have fall. You really should have fallen to the 5th round. But the way you're acting, dude, the way you behave during the whole draft process, whether it was a conspiracy or no conspiracy, you would have taken a hit. Your stock would have dropped. So there's no way to tell if the NFL instructed the teams not to draft you or the teams themselves decided not to draft you. Whatever happened, dude, you and your dad got to take some blame for this Shador, man, because, like I say, Baltimore and Philly, I'm sorry, man. That's just like an actor saying, no Spielberg, no Scorsese, no Nolan. I'm gonna forge my career my own path and my own way. Okay, fine. Fuck you then, nigga. Dude, and that's what the NFL saying. That's what Baltimore and Steelers said. Fuck you then, nigga. Yeah. All right, you want to turn me down? You want to reject me? Fuck you, motherfucker. You know who I am? I'm motherfucking Spielberg. I'm Scorsese. I'm motherfucking Baltimore Ravens, motherfucker. I got 2 Super Bowl rings. I got great players, Hall of Fame players. I'm Philadelphia Eagles, fool. You know how many Hall of Fame players, how many rings we got? And you saying no to me? Fuck you and your motherfucking dad, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, hard to come behind Red on that one. Well, who next?
Oh Lord.
Lord, Jesus.
I'm gonna let somebody else go first before I say this. 'Cause I'm gonna be a devil's advocate on this one.
I go.
James, like you always got to play that well role.
I think, like, all right. So Shador put up numbers in college. That's great. Love to see it. Happy for you. I think the biggest thing was that they overplayed their hand. Like, all right, yeah, your dad, he was a Hall of Famer. But at the same time, like, you're the first child of his to be eligible for the draft. See, they try to pull a Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, right? But the thing was, Peyton was already in the league. Archer already came through, did what he did. Peyton was already in the league, and he was already doing numbers. So now you have more leverage because of your family name. You're the first child of Dion's to be eligible for the draft. You overplayed your hand. So now you sitting there with egg on your face because of the situation. Now I get it. I mean, being a competitor in any sport, you want to play. I get it. I wholeheartedly get that part. You want to play. And if you went to Baltimore, you're not gonna see the field. And I think that played a lot into it too. You're not gonna see the field. You go to Philly, you're not gonna see the field. But the thing about it though, he should have played the long route. Like, how many times, in all actuality, how many times do you have the chance to actually go to a winning organization straight off the rip and learn what it is to be an actual pro? Learn what it is and how they go about business to go win. Baltimore wins consistently. They it's almost a lot that Baltimore gonna do about 12 wins every season. They go into the playoffs. That's a lot. That's a given. Unless something catastrophic happens, like Lamar goes down. And hell, if Lamar go down, and then now you the starter till they come back.
Right.
Now
There
you
you
the
go.
starter till they come back.
Stop.
Or Philly just won the Super Bowl. They are locked to be a top NFC team. They are locked to be a top team in the league. Period. It's a given. They strap from player number 1 to player 53. Now you have the chance to actually learn how winning organizations go about their business. How do they stay in contention from year to year to year? How do they actually approach the grind? If you, for one, you got drafted in the 5th round, you only gonna be there 4 years anyway. You only gonna be there 4 years anyway. And when it's time for free agency, now you're one of the top free agents. But now you have all this to take to your new team and build them. That's how you get everybody else on board. See, other teams are sitting there trying to, like Atlanta. You know, we're trying to build a culture of winning. We've been trying to do this for the past 7 seasons. You don't just magically just win. You have to build a culture, and it has to win, and it has to be sustainable. You don't have an opportunity like hell, you get drafted, you a backup quarterback, but you went to the Patriots along with Tom Brady. Hell yeah, I'm gonna go. Why? Because I want to know what he know. I want to learn everything I want to learn everything that he know. I want to see how he go about his business. How does this team stay in contention every year? How do you do it? And then wherever I go afterward, hey, look, GM, head coach, hey, look, when I was in wherever, this is how they was doing it. They were doing it like this, and this. That's how it's sustainable. I don't want to just win one season. I want to win for the rest of my career. That's the most important thing. I want to win for the rest of my career. They went targeted these type of players in the draft. They went targeted these type of free agents in free agency. They got these type of coaches. Why? Like what was the blueprint? What is the blueprint? Now let's build this thing. Let's build this thing and go get it. And you don't have a chance. Like, all right, Falcons. We draft early in the first round because we don't have a culture like that. We're still trying to build the culture like that. That's why everybody's hyped off of the early results that we done got so far this season. We're still trying to build that culture. Week 2, that was the first time we done had any semblance of that in who knows how long, since like 2017.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? It's flash in the pan, but we hope that it's sustainable. If it's sustainable, hey, we can go do numbers. We can go make noise this year, and then we can keep making noise. If we go make noise in the playoff this year, then all right, now people, I trust Terry Fontenot, I trust Raheem. I had my doubts of this, that, and the third, but now that I've seen it, all right, maybe they know what they're doing. Like
now some other teams gonna look up. Yeah, you're gonna have defenders on other teams looking up saying, "Woo, what if Falcons got it? What? I might want to go play with that defense over there. Look at what they got over there." Man, we don't tell us who we might get.
Offensive players, coaches. Hey, the Falcons got something going on over here. They about to go somewhere. I'm gonna go be a part of it.
You remember we got Dwight? Remember when we were winning doing the Matt Ryan earlier? We were getting players like Abraham, Dwight Freeney, Asante Samuel, all them good players coming over here for like 1 to 2 year deals. That's because we had a winning culture.
We had a winning culture. They knew that they had a chance, and they could just be that one missing piece to get us over the hump. Like you can't be so spoiled, entitled, and egotistical to sit there and say that I'm above all this when you haven't played it down in the NFL yet. That doesn't make sense.
Right.
You haven't done it. All we got is your college tape. All we got is your college tape. If you never get on the field, then what we got? Because you're at the Browns now. That says more about you. That says more about you than them. If you can't get on the field as a Cleveland Brown quarterback who done started what 33 different starting quarterback.
Yeah.
If you can't get on the field as a Cleveland Brown quarterback, why would I want you here? Why would I want you anywhere around my organization? Because you're not bringing nothing to the table. But if you came from the let's say the Chiefs, you came from the Chiefs, or you came from Baltimore, you came from Buffalo. All right, well, you're not gonna beat out none of those quarterbacks, but you learned something though. What did you learn? You maybe it should be able to translate. Let's give you a shot. Hell, let's say the Saints. The Saints can't figure it out for the next 3 years. All right, hey, let's bring Shador in. Let's right this ship. Like I don't know. Like that's having an ego without a reason to have an ego. That doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm done.
All right, Coach James, y'all want to approach this topic?
I mean, I'm gonna say the same thing I said when this situation happened. We had the panel about it before. It was him who held himself back. You know, you can't expect to go get a job, tell your bosses what you are and are not going to do. You know, I make up my own schedule. I come to work when I want to come to work, but you still gonna give me this job. They're gonna look at you like you crazy until you get out their office. Like it was, I just always found it completely asinine that people wanted to make it a race thing. It had nothing to do with race, had everything to do with an entitled baby acting like an entitled baby. I am one for holding people accountable. I don't care the situation. If you have accountability, you need to be held accountable. And the fact of the matter is, his mouth, his actions, how determine that he didn't get picked high in the draft. Now, did he deserve to fall to five? Like, was him falling to five? Maybe the NFL giving him the finger. That's possible, but like Red said, you can't really know because you just don't shut up. Y'all never should. You know what I mean? Like, you just created problems after problems after problems, and I don't think we'll ever truly know. Does his talent deserve to fall to the fifth? Probably not. He definitely should have been gone by the third. But again, you turn people off when you act a certain way. You cannot act how you act and then say, please give me a job. Please look out for me. Please, do the quote unquote, do the right thing. Well, if you had not walked into meetings with headphones on, having, entourage and FaceTime and people during meetings and just acting like a total prick, you probably would be in a better situation. So I truly don't feel sorry for him. Your actions are a direct result of the situation you're in, and it is what it is. Hopefully it has humbled him. I haven't really heard too much like coming from their camp in the last 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So hopefully he has been humbled and just use this as a learning experience and move on. That's it.
Well said. So you, James.
So I'm listening. I'm listening to everybody, and I agree with most of the portions of what everybody is saying. Um, don't you think both sides are at fault when it comes to Shador? Let me ask you that. Let me ask y'all that.
Both
I
sides
personally,
as in who?
I personally
The
don't.
media.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the media. I'm gonna say the media. I ain't gonna say the NFL teams. I'm gonna say the media.
I don't think so because
I don't.
every time you saw Shador, it doesn't matter what was going on. Like when he was sitting there training with Cam Ward, he was talking trash. When in college, they already said that he got an ego and all this other stuff. Like you literally sit there and just continue to dig your hole because you thought, and it still remains to be seen. Maybe he does have the talent to actually back it up in the NFL. But
Mhm.
you got to get to the NFL first to show that. You have to get to the NFL first. Every time you saw him, he was on some nut job stuff. Like
But
who, like
but
you threw this what $1 million draft party and all this. Like why? What are you doing?
but but
I don't
Winston.
want that in my organization because it's too much. When I'm sitting there trying to figure out the whole reason why I'm drafting this high is because we got issues. We have issues. I don't need extra issues, and you look like a problem. That's the whole reason why I'm drafting high anyway, because we have issues. We got things we got to fix. I need somebody to go come in here, put their head down, and go to work. Cam Ward sat there and kept his mouth quiet. That's literally how Cam Ward ended up leapfrogging Shador. Because going into the season, they were talking about Shador being the number one overall pick. And then Cam just kept it quiet. He kept grinding. And then he ended up leapfrogging him. And then when they was doing the training, and they showed videos of it, he started talking mess to Cam. Cam ain't really even saying nothing. Like everything about you showed up and showed as you have an ego problem. So if you come into my organization, then why would I sit there and think that you may not sit there and think that you're better than the organization? One piece is not better than the whole. It can't be.
Hey
It can't be.
Winston. Repeat some of that for me. I had got a phone call, bro. To my bad. What was you saying? because my thing had went out, so I had to go back out and come back in. What was you saying, bro?
No, I was sitting there saying like every like all right, going into last season before college football season started, there was talks of Shador going number one overall. All right. Then throughout that season, every time you look, Shador doing something, and they kept sitting there saying like he got an ego, he got an ego, he got an ego, he got an ego. Then Cam ended up leapfrogging him towards the end of the season. All right. Then when he make himself eligible for the draft, then he went train with Cam. He's sitting there talking mess. The whole reason why a team is drafting that high is because there are issues. They have issues. They have problems. They are devoid of talent. That's the whole reason why you drafting high in the first place. All right. The whole thing is this though, and you don't have the culture in place. That's another reason why you drafting high, because you can't win. All right. If you can't win, I can't have somebody that's gonna sit there and act like he's bigger than my organization, because football is literally the ultimate team sport. Every whether on the offense, the defense, the special team, that 11 got to move in sync. It got to move in sync. If it doesn't, you're going to lose. I don't care how you call it. You're going to get beat. I can't have somebody that come in there and think that he's bigger than the organization when the organization is trying to change itself to become a winning organization. I don't need that headache. And then now it comes out that teams who called you, they called you to bring you in the house, and you turned them down. Come on here, bro. This shit gotta stop.
Yeah, and I understand that and everything what you're saying though, but Cam Ward was talking some shit to him too though. Let me say
Cam
that.
talked shit in response to him. Cam
It
didn't
wasn't
start the shit.
shit.
There's a difference.
In some of those episodes when they was training, Cam would go up to Shador and talk shit to him. Now with the talking shit overall at hand, pretty much Shador would sometimes talk shit back and sometimes he would just be quiet. And everything like that of that nature. They was competitors, they friends. They battled each other. So I understood that of that nature. Cam is a cocky individual too though. Cam is very cocky. If that's the case, you look at the Jeffrey Simmons and Cam Ward incident that happened during training camp. So we just can't negate that. We can't negate that. And the thing is, what I'm saying is, at the time frame with the media, it was two quarterbacks that was up there at that motion, at that point, and everything separated the rest. Who was those two quarterbacks? Cam Ward. Cam Ward and Shador Sanders.
Yeah, that was pre-draft interview.
That was that was all the way up to the draft that they was the top two quarterbacks at that point.
That was all the way up to the pre-draft interviews.
Once they started having the pre-draft interviews.
That's when they started sitting saying, "Yeah, Shador, he might slip a little bit. He might slip a little bit." That's when that talk started happening. When they started having
Jackson Dart, but hold on, but it was different reports, and it depends on the reports. I get it. That it was going to be Shador Sanders that may end up slipping, and Jackson Dart. But Jackson Dart got taken by the Giants, so that was kind of a shocking move at that point in time, because draft said that was a shocking move for them to get him at that point. A lot of teams it was shocking all the way up to the 5th round to where Shador had failed. Mind you, individually, the cockiness, I understand. He's a very cocky individual. He gets that from his father, hands down, hands down. But the media paid. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna leave it alone because I don't want to dab into too much into it. It was both sides that fought at this. It was both sides. The media played this portion, and Shador played this portion as well. I agree. Like with the music and things, when the Browns been in camp and everything like that of that nature, I think that was too much. When he bring in his entourage and the music, but that's coming with him though. He's been doing that.
Yeah, let me
And the thing,
let me ask
but
you
let me
this.
say, let me say this. My father is a Hall of Famer with accolades and everything like that of that nature. Eli, I understand Peyton was in the league and everything like that, but they think they can do a similar thing because Archie pulled it off. I don't want my son to play for the Chargers. I want him to play for the Giants.
But the reason Archer was able to pull it
But
off was because Peyton was already in the league doing numbers.
but I'm not negating it. But the thing is, if Archie can do, don't you think my Hall of Fame daddy can do it too?
No, because you're the first
How?
child to come in there. You are the first. You are
How,
the
how?
first child
Hold on,
of
hold on,
Dion.
hold on, hold
You
on, hold
can't
on,
do
hold on.
that.
You can do that because my father has more accolades and has more in touch with the teams, and he was a. I can do that,
Hey,
but
let
at
me
James,
let me
hand,
ask you
but
this,
hold
James.
on, hold on. But let me say this: it did fail. It failed tremendously. It fell on top of his face. But the thing is, the way the NFL is set up right now, a quarterback, depending on the nature and how he trains and how he studies the playbook, can come in and start right off. And they thought they had that. That's why they turned that down because he believed the son was an NFL. And I can't knock him for that, even though it failed. And I'm not negating the fact that it failed tremendously. But at hand, I can't knock him for trying it because he's seen other folks try it and it worked. Now, the future is
good
still,
point.
but listen to me, but the future is still early for him. So we can't really judge the narration and everything like that.
Okay,
Let, let
but
me ask you this:
we'll
if
see
if
this.
if Shador goes through his 4 years at Cleveland
Mhm.
and he don't get on the field as he starter, not by injury, by actually beating out the other quarterbacks there, then what the narrative goes to?
And it falls completely on him at that point
It's
because
Now,
already
now
on here.
let me ask you
it
this.
falls completely on him at that point.
Let me ask you this. All right, when Russell Wilson took and left from Seattle and went to Denver, what did Russell do?
A damn thing.
Nah, you remember when he first got to Denver? Russell took and he got his own office in the building. He
Oh yeah,
got he
yeah. I
got the
remember
parking
that. I
spot up
remember that.
front. He got his people parking spot. He got somebody else another office in the building. All that stuff. How was that looked at?
That was some shit right there. I ain't gonna hold you. That was some
So
shit.
okay, now Russell is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. At the time, Russell probably was what, at least in the top 20 at quarterback at the time. Okay, now Russell has sweat equity in the NFL. You mean you sitting there trying to pull the same shit and you even got in the NFL yet?
But I'm looking at an Eli, and he pulled the same shit, and he did what he did at the same. He ain't have
Ja-
no equity at the time in the NFL.
Eli did it.
James,
Eli was
You
able to
don't
get it
listen
done.
to me. I'm talking about for as him. I ain't talking about because that's his brother Peyton. I'm talking about for as him. He really
His
didn't
brother
have no
Peyton is the
equity.
reason why it was
But
able to happen.
but the
no,
Archie was a
no.
good quarterback.
no.
Peyton was already in the league on his way towards the
No,
Hall of Fame career. You could see that by the time
but
it was
I
time Eli
understand.
came about.
I'm understanding that, but I'm saying as far as himself,
Shador doesn't
James,
have
himself,
no equity. All he
let
has is what
he
his
ain't have
daddy
no
did
equity.
20 some years beforehand. Only thing that he has is his dad's name. When his daddy played 20 some years beforehand, he didn't have a older
But I'm
brother that
just
went
saying
into the
though.
league and actually did numbers.
But the actual
If he had an older brother
negotiations,
that got in the
but
league,
if you look at the actual negotiations around that time, who was negotiating mainly for Eli to go where he went to?
Arch did.
All right then, thank you.
Ar- Arch
so,
played
All
in the
right,
so
league.
let
Arch
me,
But
played in the
then,
league.
thank
James,
you.
Was
but
a
I
good
rest my
quarterback.
case. I rest my
they're
case because for
still
the
Ar-
looking
simple fact.
at the first family
Arch came in the
quarterback.
But I'm
league.
just
Was
saying.
a good
But
quarterback.
look,
Was a hometown favorite. Ingrained
oh,
understand that.
to the
And
neighborhood. All right.
and I understand that, but
Then Peyton
it can
comes
be the
in.
same. But it can be the same way because I have a Hall of Fame cornerback as a dad that can negotiate. He been doing this for
That
No,
was
over a
20
year.
No,
something years ago.
here's the
You didn't
problem.
have a
No,
brother before you that sit there
and on
that
top of
but
could sit
that,
there and
No,
look.
that's
that
not
ain't
even
got nothing to
that's
do
not
with
even
it.
the same
Here's the
I'm
problem.
position.
You
just
can't
saying.
The
compare
I'm
it.
just
position you
saying.
call it,
You can't compare it. You can't compare it when
James,
it's father
the
to
position
son.
you
You
call it
can't
Shador to
compare it
play,
when you
that's a
when
franchise turning position. You
I
can't play around with
understand.
that position.
I understand that, but as far as the
His
negotiation with
dad was
what
a
y'all miss,
cornerback. He a quarterback,
hold
James.
on. I understand that, but still,
All
is
right,
when it
Jay.
comes to father and son, that I can still negotiate that because you did that with the Mannings. So what makes you think I
Right.
can't do that for my son and I'm a Sanders and what all the accolades that I have more than a Manning? Even though
Here,
that's two
here,
different
here,
positions.
Because
Hold on, hold
Dion
on,
was
hold on.
Dion was really out there
if
negotiating.
I can
Yes,
answer,
he was. He been doing that for the past year. He even did that with Travis Hunter. How you gonna
Tra-
tell me that, Red? He
Travis
did that
Hunter
with Shaq. But listen, hold
Travis
on,
Hunter was a
listen to
cornerback that
listen
went
to
and
me,
got
look,
groomed by
listen to me,
by
listen to me. But I'm
Dion.
listen to me. What I'm saying is he did that with Shador, Shiloh, and Travis. That's why he brought because Travis could have came
Travis,
out last year. Because Travis could have came out last year and been in the top 5. But he held them back for a reason. And
What
who
position?
held them back?
What
He played
position does
cornerback and
what
receiver.
position does
He played
Dion?
corner.
What
He played
position did
cornerback and
Deion
receiver.
Sanders? He played corner, right? Hall of Fame corner, arguably the best corner of all time, right?
Right.
Okay, Travis Hunter comes along. Travis Hunter goes to get trained by Dion. That's why he went to Jackson State because Dion was the head
I
coach.
understand that.
So I learned I was groomed by the best player to do
I,
it at my
I
position.
understand. I
Okay,
understand that.
now now
I understand that.
Shador is a quarterback. You
Understandable.
came in that you came in
that's what
there
I
who his
told him.
quarterback coach was either at Jackson State or Colorado. Who was the quarterback coach?
Quarterback coach was the
Sure.
offensive
Pat
coordinator at
Shermer.
Colorado.
hey, James.
Which is Shermer, which was Pat Shermer.
So
Okay, I
this
just
is
named him.
this is. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Damn. Go ahead, coach.
Okay. So I agree with you, James. That Eli having somebody in the family that ain't have nothing to do with nothing. But here is the key piece that you're missing, brother. Yes, Deion Sanders should have been able to do like Arch did with his sons and negotiate where his sons went. The thing that you are missing is neither one of the Manning boys went to teams, disrespecting the process, not paying attention
And I agree.
in meetings.
I agree with that portion. I agree with that portion,
Going
coach. That's why I said it
to,
fell on his face. That's why I said it fell on his face. I
okay,
agree
so
with that
I mean
notion. I agree with that notion.
that is why it didn't work out the same way. Had he been, and you don't even have to be humble because everyone knows great players are cocky, arrogant SOBs. All your great players are, regardless on how they act. In public, they're cocky. You got to be that way in order to be the best. So
Understandable, coach.
I don't agree with the notion that he failed because he was cocky, arrogant, yada yada yada. I think
Mhm.
James, I think it was strictly because he didn't take the process. He went through the process, didn't take it seriously. Like it was a game to him. He treated it like it was some social media grab. And
Mhm.
if I am a owner, I don't want that coming into my team. One thing the ones said I do agree with is anybody that was going to draft him probably is in a bad space to begin with. So I don't want all that extra diva shit coming into my building. Now, uh, someone will
I agree with
say,
that
well,
portion as well. I
or
agree with
and
that
someone
portion as
someone
well.
would say well, they draft such and such that is a diva. Yes, but that position is not your most important position in the whole football team. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to draft a diva. Well, I mean, I ain't gonna say it's cool, but it's less detriment to your team to draft a diva wide receiver. It's less detriment to your team to draft a diva safety or cornerback or linebacker or running back. It's less detriment. But if you draft someone who is already showing you they're not taking the process seriously, it's fun and games. You know who exactly reminds you of Johnny Manziel. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, it's the exact same thing. You don't take the craft serious. You burn teams. So now teams are looking at it like, okay, we got us another one. He not taking this serious, and everything stops and goes with your quarterback in the NFL. It just does. And I think solely on that, I don't think it was no other issue, brother, other than that two teams, he did not seem to take it seriously. He made it a game. He made it all about him. And I think that just completely turned teams off. That is why he failed the way he did.
Technically, it's the thing is, and when I look at the whole totality of the situation is, it could be both parts. Don't look at one side while looking at the other. And the thing was with Shador, during some of the process, it seemed like he didn't take it serious, but we from the outside looking in. And then there was so it was other aspects of the game that to me that he took it serious, because I monitored it very closely with Shador all the way up till he went to the Browns. And after that, I was like, okay, let me focus back on the Falcons. The thing was, when he had his pro day, he was very serious in that motion. I watched the whole pro day. He was very mature. You could see the vision, you could see the talent there. But the thing is, he was doing what, his friend was doing. His friend was cocky as well. His friend is Cam Ward. He went number one. And those was two closest at the time, all the way up to the draft.
Coach, you got feedback.
Now, James.
Hold on, Red. Those two were close, and then it was a separate off with Jackson Dart. They really didn't have the numbers for number 3, number 4, and number 5. So I'm saying,
but James, did you see the video?
What video?
The video where Cam and Shador was talking. That's the video I was trying to talk to Winston about. When they were just talking, just kicking the breeze. But what did Cam say in that video? Tidy, you probably know the video I'm talking about. When Cam said, "I'm all about football," and Shador was asking him, "Damn, dude, that's all you do? You don't have no hobbies or nothing like that?" And Cam was like, "I'm all about football," and Shador was saying, "Well, no, I got other stuff to do." Dude, you don't say those crap like that before you get drafted. What's wrong with you?
But I seen that video, Red. But I also seen other videos when Shador is just trying to practice and Shador is just trying to train, and Cam coming at his neck. I seen that too as well. Saying stuff about the Washington State game and Colorado game. Saying stuff that he's better at this and better at that, and Shador, you ain't this and you ain't that as well. I seen that motion as well. So it plays both parts. I seen several videos on Well Off of those training sessions, because they trained so much together that you could see all the trash talking right there. Hold on. And so I see a cocky motion with Cam as I see with Shador. Ain't not both of them, because you think you the best at the position. And all the cockiness and Shador said, I don't knock him for it, because if I'm knowing that I'm supposed to be one of the top 2 quarterbacks, I'm gonna feel like that too. Especially when I was bouncing between number 1 and number 2 for most of the process.
Let me say this real quick.
We all know.
As far as the Dion and the Archie Manning situation, those two situations are very similar, and at the same time, they're nothing alike. And it all depends on which one you're gonna pay attention to. They are very similar because they were two dads that were heavily involved in where their sons played the first year of their NFL career. But this is the thing. We're talking about two totally different periods in society, and how society was essentially ran at the time. In
I agree.
2004, none of us was on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, blah, 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 meaning that the media really controlled the narrative at that point. You had to go on TV, on major networks, or you had to go in a major magazine to kind of get your point across or say what you want to say. The point I'm trying to make is, for the most part, unless you was an insider, you had no idea that Archie was gonna pull what he pulled with Eli until the draft happened. You had no idea about that. Meaning that Archie held his cards close to his chest. Whereas prime time, and as a player, loving to death. You know what I'm saying? What got a lot of love for him. I'm trying to stop saying loving to death. But got a lot of love for him. Grew up as my football hero. But Deion was being Deion 2 years before the draft. Well, he going on $1 million worth of game, nightcap, telling everybody who was listening. These are major publications, which gives me as a listener every month. I'm gonna control what my son go. I'm gonna control my son go. My son ain't gonna go to certain organizations. And then he had to tweet about Cleveland. How if I was a quarterback, I'm not gonna go play for Cleveland. So Deion, in my opinion, as far as this situation goes, he was his own worst enemy. As far as where Shedeur was going to get drafted and how he got drafted, because he kept being so public about it, and that's how Deion is. That's his personality. He been that way his whole life, and I'm sure he's gonna stay being that way his whole life. But he wouldn't shut up, And if you just keep telling Deion being a multi-millionaire, if you keep telling these billionaires, my son ain't gonna play for you, my son ain't gonna play for you, my son ain't gonna play for you, sooner or later they're gonna say, well, okay, bro. I mean, we done.
Take him home with you.
Yeah, take him home with you. Let him play for your NFL team. And then not only that, when I say society was different, most people didn't really know who Archie Manning was. And I'm being literal when I say this, but everybody knew who Prime Time is. He got a lot of power, he got a lot of influence, and a head coach and a general manager, I'm sure a lot of them were intimidated by the power that Deion yields. Because if things are not going the way Prime Time wants him to go with his son, Deion gonna go in the interview, he gonna go on Club Shay Shay, he gonna say something bad about me, or he gonna tweet something bad about me. And I really think that power dynamic, it really hurt Shedeur in the long run. I really feel like if Deion would have played this like Archie played it, I ain't gonna say that until the draft happened, or 2 days before the draft. I think Shedeur don't sit there until the 5th round, and because Deion was doing it, like father, like son, Shedeur start doing it, And them general managers, them head coaches, and some of them owners, they're like, okay, bro, you ain't got to tell us, but one time you don't want to be here, we don't want you here. We don't view you as a Cam Newton prospect anyway. We don't view you as a Michael Vick prospect anyway. We don't view you as just a generational type prospect. So that that's what I feel the difference in Archie and Deion was.
And I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I'm not negating that. If that's why I said I never negated what y'all was saying. It was just more of he just pulled a similar situation with the father-son thing. That's the only thing I was strictly harping on, and everything else I agreed with. So
I'm just playing
Like-
devil's advocate, John.
yeah,
like
that's
you,
it.
you know the type of message, like for Deion to be sitting there saying that for months.
Years.
You know what type of, how much
And it was a
what
whole
type of
2-year
message
process.
that you sitting there sending to the NFL. Like, all right,
Yeah,
I don't think your team is good enough to have my son. I don't think your team is good enough to have my son. I don't think your team is good enough to have my son. Like, do I even take the risk of picking them in the 1st round, and then I got egg on my face because they just sat there and turned me down. Now I'm sitting there backpedaling, scrambling, trying to figure out who I'm going to pick. And then just like the word always get out, sooner or later it's gonna get out. Oh yeah, well the coach tried to draft Shedeur Sanders, but Deion Sanders said nah, and he turned it down. So they pivoted to right tackle out of such and such and such and such. Like, how much that would mess with the psyche of a team. and you even got in the door. You haven't even got here yet. That says so much to so many people. Like, yeah, no one. Of course, his ass is gonna fall. I don't want to deal with it. That's a headache that I don't have to deal. That's an embarrassment that I don't even got to go through at all. So what? What's that little show? But they line the people up and they got a suitor, they got a bachelor or a bachelorette come in and they pop the balloons when they see them.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
It's the same thing that he just did with the NFL. That's the exact same shit. Shador and Prime had 32 balloons. And as soon as the team walking the jump, pop. Another one walking, pop. Like, nah, I'm not doing that. You're not gonna sit there and embarrass me on national TV. That's something I gotta like. That's something I would have to wear well beyond his rest. Yeah, like no, I'm not going through that. Then you sitting there picking up FaceTime calls and all this stuff, doing the interviews and stuff. No, I'm good on it. I'm good on
having
that.
parties and shit. How you having draft parties and you don't told half the team no? Who the hell you think gonna draft? You don't tell half the team no.
Exactly, and that's the main reason why the who was it? Was it the owner or the coach? Back during preseason, one of them took and distanced themselves away from the Shador pick. I can't remember which one. It was either I want to say it was the owner. He was like, yeah, that wasn't my pick. That was such and such a pick.
Oh, with the GM that said that.
Was that
he
Cleveland?
said about the owner. He said
Yeah,
about
that was
the
Cleveland.
owner. Yeah, Cleveland. Like they took and distanced themselves away from the pick. Because like man, it's too much. It's a circus. It's a circus. Like, if I entertain the circus, I'm a clown too. Point blank period. There's no getting around it. If I entertain the circus, if I become part of the circus, I'm a clown too.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you should have went to Baltimore or Philly.
He should have
went. They would
trade. Baltimore, Philly. Shut the hell up. Sit back and learn.
Right.
At that point, like you slid that far. You done slid that far. There's no ground for you to gain. You can't gain ground. You slid all the way down to the 5th round. And that's when they was sitting at Baltimore and Philly was sitting there talking about getting them. It won't like they were sitting there talking about getting them in the 2nd or 3rd or something like that. You know how to slid to the 5th. Yeah, you go in there, you shut up, you sit down, and you learn. That's all you do. You can't gain ground. Like Cleveland got 4 quarterbacks. You the last one on the depth chart. And Joe Flacco looked like trash.
Baltimore would took care of him. That's a place his dad played. Ozzie Newsome still run that place. They would have took care of Shador. He wouldn't have had to worry about nothing. Nigga, you could have been 3rd, you could have been 4th goddamn string. And I bet this you wouldn't have to worry about getting cut. Your ass would never have to worry about getting cut.
To be honest with you, y'all, even with Baltimore, Phillies, to be honest with you, he's in a perfect spot. And the reason being, yes, because for the simple fact it is, they're gonna go through their hiccups, knowing that they got trash at the quarterback play, and their best player, really, honestly, that's their best quarterback is a 4th-string quarterback in Shador Sam. I don't even think Shador is better than Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter though, because like even if Shador is better than Dylan Gabriel, unless the either Shador would have to show out so much to the point where they can't deny him and keep him off the field, or the organization will have to move him up the depth chart. Like we literally just went through this last year when they say somebody from inside the organization said Michael Penix is the best quarterback on that team, and what they do, they steadily rode along with Kirk Cousins. Unless the organization makes the decision that I'm going to go a different way, there's nothing he can do. And they drafted a quarterback 2 rounds before you. They're not gonna sit there and you're not gonna leapfrog him. He's gonna get he'll get a crack at it before you do, because they got more invested in him.
Yeah.
He would have to legitimately play the lights out every practice, every chance he got. He would have to play the lights out to actually leapfrog him.
So,
And
and
then you
I
still got
understand.
another quarterback sitting ahead of you, and then another one ahead of that.
And I understand that notation of what you're saying, Mister. But with the Michael Penix situation, when they said that a week later, Michael Penix was starting.
No, they said that. They said that.
It,
They
it
said
was
that.
it was like
that
it was like a
no,
week
that
or
was
two
right after.
before.
That was what, a week or two. Matter of fact, I tell you exactly when
It
it was.
was
It
it was
came out the week of the bye week. It was the week of the bye week when that junk came out, and
I
then
think it
Penix
was.
started 3 games after that.
You may be right, but I'm thinking that it was later because for the simple fact it was a buzz all over Twitter when that came out, and when that buzz came out all over Twitter, Kirk had started that game, and then the next week, I think it was the week of the Raiders game, and then Michael Penix ended up starting because I remember that because I seen it everywhere around about that time.
Oh, I remember. I remember
Yeah,
seeing it, but I want to say it came out in the bye week. It was during the bye week, and then they played. What we played two. What was it? Let's see. Kurt took it, went 1-4. He had 2 games after Kurt Tober. Played 2 games after Kurt Tober. Bye week, 2 games. Won the fifth game. Won the fifth game.
He
Got
won.
benched.
He won
Yeah,
the
it was
yeah,
like that. It was either that bye week or the week after that.
yeah. Because I
Matter of fact,
remember
he won
precisely
the Raiders.
because
He won the Raiders game.
He won
He
the
won the
Brady game and
Raiders
got
game. And
benched.
still got beat.
and still got
Yeah,
benched, and
that was
No.
I think Kadarius Hodge ended up coming out saying that was cap or something like that. Was it Kadarius Hodge that came out and said something about that report?
Somebody said that. I can't. Somebody did say that. I don't remember who it was.
Because it was not too long after that report came out that we seen Michael Penix ended up starting.
Yeah, I actually believe that report.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
But I mean, like at the same time, as long as
what
Kurt
was that
started,
report?
you can't. You as long as Kurt started, even though he's going through what he's going through, like you can't. A player can't sit there and openly verbalize, "Hey, I think the backup is better." Like
yeah.
that's my starter.
And
That's
put
my
his
starter. I
name
gotta
on
go
it.
with. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go through these comments real quick, y'all. Carl Thomas says, "Who's replacing AJ Terrell tomorrow? Anybody know?"
That's gonna
Had
be
they did
more than
had they did the
likely.
elevation yet on the
I
practice
ain't
squad?
seen that.
I haven't
Let
seen
me
nothing
take a
either.
look. I think it's gonna be D Alfred tomorrow.
Yeah. If they haven't done elevation and CJ Henderson doesn't get elevated, it'll be D Alfred.
So D Alfred. Let's see y'all. So we got Dr.
Man,
Slick Nuts. What's up, Dr. Slick Nuts? It's been a minute. Says exactly how you gonna tell teams not to draft you and then get mad at them for not drafting you. That's a
Dr.
good point.
Slicknut. What the hell? Who the hell is Dr. Slicknut?
82 Money Carlos says, just like when Jerry traded Parsons just to prove you didn't have to pay him. Good point. Owner does yield that power. Dr. Slickness also says, makes no sense. That's just some victim mentality ish. I won't want that as my quarterback either. Also we got Louis Algier in the building. What's up, Louis? That's Tyler Algier's uncle, y'all. He says rise up.
What's going on, Louis?
Rise up to you, Louis. We appreciate you coming in, man.
What's going on, Louis?
Man, I hope we can keep your nephew past this season, but it's gonna be hard. But I love him though. That's my boy right there, man. That boy.
We got Carl Thomas says talk about the best cubic in the league, Michael Penix. Definitely love us.
We trying, Carl. Still a little early.
Hold on. Come on, y'all just go smooth over the fact that he say best QB in the league. Y'all go just go smooth over that. And I replied, hell no, and I don't know football because I said he not the best in the league. Seriously, what?
We want him to get there. He just haven't shown enough yet.
We trying, coach. We trying.
We understand, we understand that's like fan speak. You know, I don't know. I don't really. That's just how fan bases talk.
They've been taking it seriously.
No.
Let me finish going through the comments real quick, y'all. Ghost Pepper says former NFL quarterback Boomer Esiason claimed that 3 separate NFL personnel sources confirmed that some team owners removed Sanders from the draft boards completely due to entitled attitude. So more information on that. 82 Monte Carlo says Natron Barnes possibly in rotation.
Natron
What else? Brooks. My bad. I
Yeah.
read it as he said it.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. Dr. Slayton also said I respect the enthusiasm from Penny. So, y'all, do y'all want to stay on this this Shador conversation? Y'all ready to go to the next topic? Y'all let me know.
Next topic.
All right, so next topic here. Now, I think this is going to be the topic where we're gonna have most of our disagreements on the panel. Next topic is going to be, is Zach Robinson holding the Falcons offense back? And I know we did speak about this a little bit the last time we did a show, which was, I think, Sunday after the game. And the reason I'm coming back to it a little bit more because this has just been such a hot topic among the Atlanta Falcons fan base. So I want to touch on a little bit more prior to tomorrow's game. I'm going to give y'all my quick thoughts and then, pass the mic to y'all. Is Zach Robinson holding the Falcons offense back? Honestly, I can't say he is or he isn't at this point. I can't come to any kind of conclusion or hypothesis after just 2 games in the regular season. I will say this. I do think the criticism has been too harsh after just 2 games. I will say that. I will revert back to last year when Zach Robinson was the coordinator, of course. I went and did some math. The Falcons averaged 26 points per game with Zach Robinson as the coordinator every game, not including the games where Kirk got hurt in that New Orleans game. So they were averaging 26 points per game, which is pretty good. You can definitely go to the playoffs, averaging that amount in the NFL. Also, the last 3 games when Michael Penix started, as Red has told me plenty of times, the Falcons scored 30 points per game each of those games. They averaged 34 points per game last year with Penix starting the final 3 games. So that's something else. And I'll just finish up with this, and then I'll give it to y'all. As analysts and fans like to say, well, they got some tape on Michael Penix now, so the defenses are going to play him a little bit differently. And I think we're starting to see a little bit of that as we start the 2025 season. Whereas when he came in fresh last year, a lot of teams didn't know what to expect. But in closing, I think it's too early. I think the criticism has been too harsh so far. So, I'll pass it to y'all. What do y'all think? Is Zach Robinson holding Falcons offense back?
I don't think so. I think what Zach Robinson is doing is making the best out of a bad situation. For one, you got a brand new center. Then you have not your first string, not your second string, but your third string right tackle who got converted from guard to right tackle. Right before, like right now, what he's doing, the offense that we learned in preseason and training camp is not the same offense that we're running right now. This offense is adapting and adjusting on the fly right now. Like Norton and McGurry both went down, made a decision for surgery, within a day of each other, and that was right before the last preseason game. So this offense is on the fly. Then you got London hurt. Mooner's still technically, he's still hurt. You can see both of them are still injured. So he's making the best out of a bad situation. I mean, we saw this last season with Kirk Cousins. When Kirk Cousins was still technically healing up the first couple of games of the season, we ran a whole bunch of pistols, make it easy on them. We're doing the exact same thing now. Once we get back fully healthy, you'll see the offense evolve into the offense that we actually want to run. But until then, he's doing what he can do to get back, and that's what's going on. So I don't think Zach is holding us back. Zach is just he's calling the game. He's calling the game as best he can to put us in position to win. Now the red zone issues, that's something different. But as you can see, we still got a top 10 offense as of right now. We still have a top 10 offense without being able to score as many touchdowns as we're used to seeing from last season. So,
all right, Winston, not to cut you off, and my apologies to you, bro.
Oh, no,
I'm gonna let you address this comment because I'm pretty sure it was directed toward your statement. This is from Carl Thomas. He says the best out of a bad situation? ? Laughing my ass off. Falcons fans so slow. Falcons got probably the most talented offense, top to bottom. So I'll let you respond.
all right, because I see he got quick thumb, so maybe he didn't hear everything. All right, you have a right tackle, not your starting right tackle, not your backup right tackle. You have a guard masquerading at a guard that was supposed to have been on the practice squad. Let's not forget that part. He was going on the practice squad, masquerading as a right tackle, a blindside protector, because you have a left-handed quarterback. All right, Drake London got hurt. All right, Drake got hurt week 1. Mooney just coming back from injury and still don't look. He still haven't got his bearings back yet. So yes, right now he's making the best of a bad situation because we're not running. Like, look at it. Look. In comparison. Week 1 through 4 of last season, and the first 2 games of this season, the offense looked the exact same because we was running a whole bunch of pistols. When Kirk got himself together and we actually opened up the playbook and ran the offense that we wanted, Kirk threw for 509 yards, set the franchise record. And that was the offense that you saw going forward. Right now, you can't call that type of offense with Elijah Wilkinson at right tackle. You can't. Like, you literally cannot call it. That's why they got him. That's why they got Pennis in the pistol. That way you can see everything ahead of him. You can't have Pennis sitting there going on the center all the snap. He come out of a boot and then he gets smacked by Ed. You got to remember too, Hassan Reddick, week 1. Hassan Reddick had 7 pressures by himself. He had 7 pressures by himself coming from Wilkinson's side. You have to understand that. You can't sit there and run a normal offense until that line get back where it's supposed to be at. I'm sorry, you can't. Now when Norton comes back, you'll see an entirely different offense. And then all the Falcons fans, y'all be happy because you're gonna see a normal offense. But until that happens, this is what you got. He's making the best out of a bad situation.
Well said. Red, James, any thoughts? Coach?
Go ahead. You go ahead, Rick.
You want me to go?
Oh yeah.
Either one y'all can go.
We'll say Coach for last because I already know where he's going with it, so we'll let him go last.
Well, I ain't gonna talk that again because I'm kind of agreeing with Tidy and Winston that it's still a little too early because Zach really technically just 5 games in with his guy, his real guy. Never thought Kirk was his guy. I always thought Penix was the real quarterback. So technically, he's just 5 games in with the guy. Like I love to tell Tidy, I had first 3 games, we were averaging over 30 points a game. First 2, I mean, it's still early into the new season, y'all. We still experimenting. I mean, first game, we technically had it won. The one for our sorry ass kicker. I mean, kicker part of the offense too. I mean, I'm sure Zach has the kicker in mind when he running some of these plays. So, Zach can have no kicker the first game. Second game, you saw how he called it, but you got to think the defense was playing so good. Zach, Tidy, tell me if you agree with this. The second half of the second game, Zach technically turned into UGA offense. I mean, I'm just going to pound it, run that clock out,
Run the
Kick these
clock.
field goals. We going home, baby. You already got that game in the bag.
We
So-
gonna do what y'all should have did in the Super Bowl.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So it really was
Exactly.
no reason for Zach to start. Let me start becoming exotic and man, let me flip this playbook to goddamn chapter 12. I mean, but wait, that game was pretty much won in the second half. We only gave up 6 points. One was by a penalty from London, and the other point was from that Jefferson reception at the end of the half. That was the only points they got. So it was no reason for Zach to go deep into the playbook to get this game 2-1. Game 3, each game tells a different story. We'll see how. I mean, maybe he may need to open up the playbook a little tomorrow. We'll see how Bryce Young play. Hell, if our defense go out there and do what we supposed to do to Bryce Young, get our revenge from his disrespect last season when he was turning his back on us and shit, and we fold that little bastard up like we supposed to, hell, Zach may not need to open up the playbook again for a third game. I'm saying, Zach, you coach as far as the game, however the game dictates you coach. I mean, I feel like his playbook with Penix, you got to have a deep playbook. But for the first 2 games, I think it was called. The game was called well enough to win. I'm not thinking that he needs to be replaced just yet because we haven't gotten to a point in the game where we needed points, we needed plays, and we haven't gotten. Like you say, first game, Michael Penix was pretty much took the game over in the third and fourth, definitely the fourth quarter in game 1. I ain't see nobody saying nothing about Zach right there. They were talking about Koo after game 1. And like you say, game 2 was pretty much won. So, I mean, we pretty much had the game. We dominated the game 2. Our defense was a coming out party for our defense in game 2. Game 3, we'll see what type of story that tells. But I expected it, honestly, to be real with you, I expected it to be another repeat of game 2 because I want that revenge on Bryce. We got to show that little bastard the way he acted on us last game. Now, Washington, that might be something different because, I mean, something tell me Jalen Daniels is going to feel a little healthier in that game. You know what I'm saying? When he's going up against his boy Michael. So, something tell me Jalen will be back. We might need, that might be Penix versus Jalen Daniels in that game. Might need the playbook to open up in the middle of it, that game. Who we got after that, after the bye? The Bills. Josh Allen. Don't tell me that playbook ain't going to need to open up for that game. So, you see what I'm saying? So, we going as the game dictates, in my opinion. Zach is still a work in progress. We ain't got to the final chapter of this story. You see what I'm saying? So story still being written, still in the first 30 minutes of the movie. I ain't ready to walk out the theater yet, Winston. Still, let me see how this plot unfolds. I'm still intrigued.
Let me add this too.
Before you go, Winston, I'm sorry, real quick.
Okay.
John Harris, check your inbox. Check your inbox, John Harris. Go ahead, Winston. My bad.
Also too, cause just like Red said, week 1 won't nobody talking nothing about Zach Robinson. All right. Now the morph of that was week 2. Minnesota said that and played us entirely different than what Tampa Bay did. Entirely different. They kept 2 safeties deep. They wouldn't bring a safety down into the box for nothing at all. But the beauty of it, you have a offensive coordinator that has enough sense. Hey, instead of making my young quarterback that's starting his 5th game in the league to try to force a ball. Hey, I got two horses back there. I got 2 horses. So he called the game accordingly. And what did it do? We got out there with a very convincing win. This ain't Madden. This is the NFL. This is not Madden. Your quarterback is not gonna sit there and throw for 400, 500 something yards every game because the game's not dictating that. That's not how the game goes. If I need to throw the ball, I can throw the ball. I got to catch the defense slipping to get that done. Or if I need to run the ball, I'm gonna run the ball. That's why we drafted the offense the way it's drafted. We can play both ways. Penix did perfectly fine. Penix still haven't thrown a turnover worthy throw yet. He's the only quarterback in the league that hasn't thrown one. He's one of 2 quarterbacks in the league that don't have a turnover yet. So yes, you still developing a quarterback. You still keeping him safe. He's on pace with his development. I know that if I need his heroic, he's shown that plenty of time. He's already shown that in 5 starts, he's already shown his heroic. How many times has Penny sat there and drove us down the field for a game winning what a go ahead score or
Multiple.
a game time field goal, and the defense end up giving the game up? Because let's not forget in Tampa Bay, Penny took and
Or the
went.
kicker.
Yeah, Penny took and went down the field, got the game time score. Then he turned around, defense took and gave up a touchdown, turned back around and drove us right back down the field for a game time kick. And well, we all know how that story went. And thank you, Koo, for your services, but they're no longer needed. So,
God damn it. About time. Yeah.
John boy.
Whoa, what? I seen that boy. I almost went to the plug, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
What's going on, John Harris?
Gentlemen, how y'all doing this afternoon?
Doing great,
What's
sir.
going on,
How are
bro?
you?
Oh man, maintaining in the face of. That's all I can say. Just maintaining. Last thing I heard y'all talking about was Zach Robinson.
Is he holding the offense back or not?
Okay. Has Coach went yet?
Not yet. We were saving him for last. Is Coach still on? Is he still on the panel?
Yeah,
I am.
You still there, Coach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach Wade, Coach is sitting there getting his index cards ready. He been waiting
No.
for this moment right here.
I mean, I see his picture, but I ain't heard him say nothing in a minute. Is he still up here?
Yeah, he just said.
Yeah, that's him talking now.
Okay, yeah. All right, well, Coach, we're gonna let you do the grand finale. But yeah, John, that's what we're saying is Zach Robinson holding the offense back.
After looking at everything, I wouldn't say that he is holding. Well, you know what? Since you know what, a lot of what you guys have said, he is holding it back. And I'm thinking about what Winston was saying is that he is holding it back because of.
Oh no, I said he won't.
Well, yeah, you did.
But
But
I said, go ahead.
Yeah, you the only one that said he have so far.
Cause see, okay, let me explain what I'm saying. You're saying that he is kind of not doing what it is that he wants to do because of the shifts, because of the offensive line. Okay,
And both of your top 2 wide receivers both are injured.
So you can say that he kind of is holding it back because he's not calling certain plays because of the 2 wide receivers being injured, two offensive linemen being new to their position, and they are not top flight. They are not second string. They are people that are a couple of hamburgers away from the grill at McDonald's.
Yeah, they ain't Craig and Day doing the security job.
Yeah. So I would say yes. Okay, you are holding the offense back. Now, 92.9, Zach came on and said that he had made some mistakes this past game. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, I did hear some bits and portions of it, and I remember the host regurgitating what it was that Zach said. But you got to look at too. There were a lot of passes dropped, a lot of interceptions dropped. Okay, so that offense that we were looking for, you could have seen glimpses of it had people caught passes. You could have seen glimpses of it more if interceptions had been caught and the offense was back out there on the field. Now, this game tomorrow, I got a message from someone saying that this could be a trap game. Well, I'm trying to figure out, how it could be a trap game when we are the trappers right now. We the ones that trap folk. Okay, but the week after that, Washington and Buffalo will really show, in my opinion, where this team really is, especially the Buffalo game. Especially Buffalo game. Now, Buffalo really dodged the bullet, but Tua shot him with the bullet by throwing that dumb interception. And that offensive line, or it was the offensive line or the defensive lineman that rolled into the kicker trying to dive to block the kick, he really put him behind the 8 ball. So Buffalo is supposedly the cream of the crop or near the cream of the crop for the AFC, and we will be playing them in 2 weeks. So, I'm gonna hold off, and I'm gonna see exactly what it is that we do tomorrow to Carolina when we're on offense, because you are going to have to open the playbook up, even with the situations that we have, because when we play Buffalo, hey, we just gonna have to go get them. And I remember me and Coach was saying, there are still things that you can do as an offensive coordinator, that you can do as an offense to mitigate a lot of these things. I'm looking for quick passes. I'm looking for, for runs, trickery, bedevilment, things of that sort out of my offensive coordinator, which do not require him having to stand behind an offensive line too long because of the fact that, you don't really have one. We about 2 or 3 players away from another Michael Vick situation when he first came here. All right. So that's what I say about that. That's what I say about that.
All right, Coach.
Okay.
Is James still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Everybody had their, say their piece. Yeah, I'm about to go in. James, you want to go?
Oh, James
Nah.
ain't went yet. My bad. Go ahead, James.
Go ahead, Coach. I want to hear what you got to say. I'm from go on mute. Go ahead, Coach.
All right, and before you go, Coach, before you go, let everybody know that y'all show is coming up. Go ahead and plug the show real quick, and then go ahead and give your spiel on the topic.
Oh yeah, yeah. So the long-awaited Coach's Corner will be dropping this Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It took us a lot of. We're finally getting everything together. I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised and as well thoroughly enjoy the upcoming show. So come check us out. It's gonna be a lot of laughs, a lot of my hot takes, and just some good vibes. So come check us out on the Coach's Corner. Please shoot us a sub so that we can start doing bigger and better things. Because we got to get to 50 as fast as possible so that we can give you guys good lives and all the best stuff. So come check us out, man. Every Wednesday at 7 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, and make sure that y'all subscribe to the show. Let's go ahead and get them to 50 subs real quick so they can open up more features on YouTube. And I just put the link in the comment section. So just follow that link, subscribe to the show. And again, let's get them to 50 real quick. All right, go ahead, Coach, with your spiel on Zach Robinson.
All right. Before I start, let me just get a general consensus. If everyone can just say yes or no, please don't go into your soliloquy. I just want to get everyone's consensus. And I'm gonna take our most polarizing player. If Matt Ryan throws for 600 yards in a game and 0 touchdowns, the general consensus is that's empty stats, right? Everyone will be like, man, who cares? It's empty stats. He didn't score, right?
Yeah, I would agree. Yes, but no touchdowns. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Generally, I think I think
You
everyone in
said
here feels that way.
you said 600 yards. You said 600 yards and no touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm just being outrageous. Like 600. And I'll take it down. Let's say he do 400 yards, no touchdowns.
Let
You'll
me
be
ask
like,
this question: Is it do the offense at all score? Do the offense score, or he just didn't throw a touchdown?
no one scores. He doesn't. No one scores. He throws 600. He throws 400 yards. No one scores. Would you say
So
that's?
what?
Would you say that's empty stats?
Yes.
Do we win the game by like field goals or something?
Game by nothing but field goals. But would you say his performance? Would you run around and tout his performance of, oh yeah, Matt Ryan was torching the defense. He had 400 yards of passing and not a single touchdown. Would you run around and tout that as a selling point for how good Matt Ryan and our offense is? Would anybody do that?
I wouldn't brag on that. I wouldn't brag on that performance per se. I would be happy we got the win. Say if he threw for 400 yards and we kicked like 5 or 6 field goals, and we won what like 18 or like 21 something to three. Say like we won against the Vikings last week. But he threw for 400 yards. I wouldn't be going around bragging about Matt Ryan, but I'd be going around saying, yeah, my Falcons won the game.
Okay, so there's a reason why I asked that question, and I'm gonna jump into it. Honestly, I made this post in Atlanta Bird Gang yesterday or the day before yesterday to this exact nature. I think this game will show everyone what I have been saying about our offensive coordinator since last year. First, let me start by to me hearing about someone, an offensive coordinator, uh, dumbing down his playbook, drastically changing his playbook, whatever, because players are hurt is just asinine uh, for a few reasons. One, not a single one of the sacks that Penix has experienced or any of the pressures have came from the person that is replacing uh, the starter at right tackle. In fact, all his sacks and or general pressures have came from the veteran side uh, of the football field. So that's one. Two, teams find good teams find a way to do without that. Uh, Prime example, look at Tampa Bay. They have multiple offensive linemen out. They have multiple wide receivers out. Yet somehow they're still finding a way, basically, to blow doors off the hinges. So to me, that's an excuse of hurt players. It's just a loser and defeatist mentality. You got to find a way to win football games. It's just that simple. But going back to him, I actually am going to reserve. No, my mind's made up. But I think this game will show most that whether he is good or not good, whether he is holding teams back and not holding teams back. As I said in my post yesterday, Michael Penix this year has thrown in the intermediate 10 plus 10 about 10 to 15 yards in the middle of the field 3 times. Why is that important? Because as John said, John made earlier, if you have issues with quote unquote hurt players, the best way to alleviate is to get that ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly, which slants would do, which in-seam routes would do, all these things would do, that sort of the middle of the field is prevalent. Um, but Michael Penix has only thrown three 10 plus uh, passes this entire year in the middle of the field. To me, that is a glaring issue. I understand the run game. We are a run first team, but your quarterback should definitely be throwing more than 3 times, just 10 yards in the middle of the field. That's crazy. Two, uh, This is the reason why I asked this question. Everyone keeps telling me how we are a run first team. We're a run first team. We're a run first team. True, I get it. I understand it. I have no problems with it. All I need for my OC to do is just not be so glaring uh, with it, so vanilla with it. So I know exactly what you're going to do with it. Um, I've been told by numerous people in the ABG group, and I'm sure you gentlemen feel the same way, that we dominated on the football field running the game uh, last week. I look at
Correct.
that totally. I look at that totally different. I look at it as the Vikings bent, but they never broke. So we couldn't have dominated on the running of the football field because we never scored. Now I know everyone will bring up to me, tell me that wait, coach, Tyler Algier scored. What are you talking about? Uh, the Vikings literally let Tyler Algier walk into the end zone so that they could get the ball back in hopes to try and mount a comeback because they were only down what 12, 13. They were down two scores when they allowed him to score. So they needed to get the ball back and they didn't want to waste no more time. So just let them score. We get the ball back. Hopefully we can stop. Now, my thing is, if I give you, which is why I asked the question, if I give you 400 yards on the ground, but I can't get in the end zone, the only time I get in the end zone is when you straight up like open the gates of heaven and just let me walk in, then I wouldn't call that successful. I wouldn't call that domination. I would call that a defense that bent but never broke. So because of you couldn't run successfully against Minnesota, who had uh, terrible issues on their defense with a lot of people being out. You couldn't run on Tampa Bay um, because they have a good run defense. Why is it still, am I seeing your playbook constructed in a way that Tampa Bay, who took away the run, and Minnesota, who basically, for all intents and purposes, stopped the run, both of these teams are serving you with 7, 8 in the box, literally and figuratively all game. You don't switch it up. You don't, you know, start doing stunts and things. No, there's no trick plays. There's no nothing. It's just straightforward vanilla. We have beat John. Um, we're going to run him to this brick wall until he breaks down like CMC. Um, as long as we got B John, yeah, that calling will work. For the most part, it'll work. But let B John get hurt, then we're shit out of luck. But as far as what I'm saying about the OC this game, Carolina is the worst, one of the worst in the leagues in the short intermediary passes in the middle of the field. One of the worst. Now, this will show me where our OC is. I understand we are a run first team. I'm cool with that. Understand Penix doesn't. I'm also of the mind that I don't want to see Penix throw the ball 40 times a game either. What I want is a balanced offense. What I need to see is the offensive coordinator who sets up a game plan that attacks a defense's weakness while so playing to one of our strengths. So yes, running the ball is one of our strengths, but if the uh, passes are absolutely horrible in the intermediary, I would like to see some passes. That's where to the middle of the field intermediary passes. Why? Because great teams are very good at exploiting other teams' weaknesses. Until we have OC that can do that and not just create the game plan, it's easy to create a game plan. Can you create a game plan that exploits the other team's weakness? Until we have that, my opinion, it's not necessarily he's holding Penix back. Well, I don't think he's holding Penix back. I think he's holding the entire offense back. Um, but I think we should all. I think tomorrow, mark my words, tomorrow will be a glaring view under the microscope on if he's worthy or not. Because although we're great at running the ball, I want to continue to see us run the ball. Will you exploit a team's weakness? That to me will show everything that uh, I think it will show most fans who are knowledgeable of football and all uh, look at it with the fan blinders off. I think if he doesn't do that, I think that will finally unlock some people saying, "Oh yeah, this guy's trash," and that's my spiel.
All right. Very well said. James, you on deck.
Yeah. Um. mm, Very valid points. Um.
Not
My
really.
thing is, my thing is this: is there's areas of opportunity for Zach to grow in? Of course. Is there areas of opportunity for Zach that he should have learned that he should be doing? Of course, every offensive coordinator has it. But my thing is, at the end of the day, is that he's doing what he's doing with what he has. Um, I understand Coach's point from the injuries portion, that you shouldn't, close up your playbook when it comes to players because it's supposed to be next man up. Um, but when I look at the totality of the team in the situation, and in the middle of the field, throwing the ball in the middle of the field, I'm not going to risk my receivers. And the reason is being because we got two coming off a shoulder injury, and the other one is coming off. Um, ain't Drake London's a shoulder as well, y'all?
Yeah.
A shoulder
Real
injury as
quick,
well.
where
I mean,
where does Drake London catch majority of his passes? Real quick,
understandably so. But at this point of the
where does,
season, coach,
where does,
I
where's he?
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, coach. I get what you're saying. But the thing is, I'm not finna risk that injury more if they already harping on something and they playing with it. So you have to make adjustments in order in that measure to try to get them in the best, safest spot on the field. Even though it's a violent game, you still got to protect your players somehow, some way. Now, if they was fully 100% and everything about going across the middle, I say, hey, yeah, they need to be throwing the ball across the field 100%. But when I have two receivers that's dealing with shoulder injuries, and if they take that risk and they go across that middle and they get hit the wrong way and they get hit in that shoulder and it does more damage, then we down a receiver. So I'm not finna take that risk. So I understand why Zach is not really throwing to the field, middle of the field that much. And plus, on top of it, with the adjustment Zach is making, to me, he's doing a damn good job. In the Buccaneers game, they knew they had a good run stopping team, and how you counter a good run stopping team with quick passes. He did that the whole game. And he tried to do some of that the same thing with the Vikings game. It's just that the running game was more capable. So I'm gonna stick with what's working. I'm gonna stick with what's gonna give me that W at the end of the day. Because if my defense is playing lights out like they did in the Minnesota game, I'm gonna stick to it and get them out the field the best way I can. Now, do it means to run Bijan to the ground every game? I don't think Zach comes into that portion. I think he wants to run the ball, but I don't believe that he wants to run his running backs in the ground. I do believe that he do have a balanced approach to his offense. Every coordinator does, but if something's working, I'm gonna stick to it. But I don't think every game they're gonna run Bijan to the ground. They're gonna have to open it up some. I think when as more pieces come back into the fold, it will open up like Winston said. So overall, I don't think Zach doing a horrible job. He can be better, but he's doing what he has to do to get that W out. Because if it weren't for the Tampa Bay game and missing that field goal, we possibly could be 2-0 right now. So that's what I had to say on that.
To that, I would just say, uh, I mean, I hear your point, but again, I would say, and this is the what I was going back and forth with the people at ABG, that I would say to you fellas as well. Is it working? You said he's doing what he has to do and it's working. But is it working though? Clearly, it's not working because we lost game one, and then game two we won simply on field goals. And I get it. The point of the football game is the score, but all you really need to get to is the 40-yard line and kick a field goal. Like if you tell me that is a recipe for success and that whatever you're doing is working, that your team is good enough just to get to the 40-yard line to kick a field goal, then I mean I would say I mean I wouldn't know what to say to that. Like if you're okay, if your idea of your team working, uh,
Did he just cut out?
I think so.
yeah, yeah, no, I had somebody at my door. Yeah. So, if all you got to do is get to the 40-yard line and kick a field goal, I would argue one would argue that what you're doing is actually not working. Um,
But
but
the thing is though, Coach, the majority of the Minnesota game, it was basically beyond the 40 when they had that trouble. And as in football,
yeah,
when you get closer to the goal line, you get closer to certain parts of the field, like the 30, 35, 20, 25 on up, it becomes very kind of difficult to score because when you have a good defensive coordinator and when you have even though they had some injuries with Minnesota, but when you still have a good core group that can defend that, it can be difficult. So if you settle for field goals and my defense still playing like they supposed to, and they controlling the whole aspect of the game, then at that point you doing what you have to do to get that W and get on out of there. So I
yeah,
understand and see that, and that's the portion of it. But then that Minnesota game, they was getting down there to the goal line. Could the play
no,
caller been could have been better? Yeah, it was several times, coach, in that game that they got down there to the goal line. It was if the have the play caller have been better around that stage of the game, of course. But overall, when we making the field goals, the defense doing gelling like they gelling on defense and everything like that, it's gonna be games like that. Every game ain't gonna be a touchdown. I think as the season grows, they will get better at that because I see a difference in what they have to do. They recognizing the mistakes or what's going on down there, and they're gonna make the adjustments. And I think Zach is gonna make the adjustments with that as well.
yeah. So just to clear up something, what I was saying about the 40 is, yeah, I know we got to the past the 40, we got to the 20, all that. What I'm saying is, you literally only need to get to about the 40 to have a legitimate shot at making the field goal. Yeah, it'll be 60 yards, but all you need to get to is the 40 to do
Mhm.
basically what we 20. That's
Okay,
what I meant
okay,
by
I
that.
got you. Okay, I got
And
you. I
then
got you.
on the flip, yeah, I get you. The defense played lights out, great, incredible. They they did their thing. But what I have seen in these first two games are y'all mean to tell me you are confident in his ability to get us to beat a team like uh, 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 the Bills, to beat a team like I don't even know if we play the Colts, but if we play
We
the
do.
Colts,
We play the
the
coast
Colts
this year
right
too.
defense. Okay, so Colts right now have the number one defense. This is right now today. Again, I understand by the time we meet, maybe different. But we, the name of the game in football is to score. You know what I mean? So I just don't. I don't think his ability and the fact that people are saying could his play calling be better? Like could he improve? Yeah, I think that literally answers the question that yes, he is holding it back because his play calling could be better. Of course, no one is perfect. No one calls him, but if you can say legitimately, yeah, he has a ton of room for improvement, then I would say the answer to the question at hand would be absolutely holding his team back. Could he get better? Sure. Has, in my opinion, from what I've seen last year to this year, and last year, it was the excuse was uh, Kirk Cousins was hurt. He can't open up the playbook. Kirk Cousins is a statue. Can't open up the playbook. Kirk starts playing good. October, he falls off. We get Penix. Penix is, oh, now that Kirk is removed and he put Penix in, he's going to open up the playbook. He's going to open up the playbook. He's going to open up the playbook. And I distinctly remember, I know John and Tidy both do because I had John laughing. I distinctly remember the very first game or the second game, it was one of the two games Penix played. It was the same four screen passes in a row like Michael Penix wasn't even in the game. Like it was still Kirk Cousins. Like
But
it's just
but coach, you got to keep in mind when Penix came into the game. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I can't necessarily say that I can agree with your point because we averaged 34 points per game those last three games that Penix played. Now, I mean, can you ask your offense to do more? Of course you can, but are you being realistic? If your offense is
Exactly.
putting up 34 points per game, asking them to do more, no, you're not being realistic.
but context is also key side. What was that because of talent or was that because of how the players constructed? Probably let me give you a reason why I asked that. This past week, Bijan, do you think we would have had success in the run game that we had if we didn't have a monster like Bijan Robinson in the backfield?
Say that again, coach. Your connection is real bad right now.
Oh, I apologize. Hold on. I said, can you hear me better now?
That's a little bit better. Can y'all hear him good or just me?
Man, it's him. Yeah, it's a
It's
little
it's
better, but
low. It's low and muffled.
yeah.
Can y'all hear me better now?
Oh, that's perfect.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
yeah.
We can actually hear you
That's
now.
Okay.
Well, you sound like
Okay.
you finally woke up.
What I was saying was what I was saying was the reason why I said that is, do you think if we didn't have Bijan this past week, we would have had the success in the run game that we had, or was it that just Bijan was just that talented that regardless of the plays that were called, he was going to do what he does?
You still would have had the success. You forgot Tyler Algier did run for 1,000 yards as a rookie. Like Bijan is just better than Tyler Algier, but Tyler Algier is
Hey,
still
we're
a
talking
monster in
about
his own right.
we're talking about now.
Well,
I
I'm
He's
understand
gonna.
still
that,
a
but
monster in his own
that's a
right.
different playbook.
I'm sorry. That
What's
was
the
a
difference with that?
Mustang.
Okay, but that's a different
We talk
playbook
over
that has no
Mustang.
effect on what we're talking about now.
Well, hey, now one thing I'm going to say, if y'all can hear me,
Yeah,
um,
you good.
you had a fullback in the backfield just about all day. And matter of fact, you had two. You had two back there, and they were determined to run. And because of that adjustment, the running game improved over the previous week because we had gotten vanilla in the running game last week because wherever Warner went, that's where Bijan was going to go. And Tampa Bay picked up on that after the first series, or after the second series. And it was a concert. From this is the impression I got. It was concerted effort by them to stop at us from running and force Penix to pass. That's what I was getting from last week. So yes, there was an adjustment that was made between last week and this week as far as the running game was concerned. And you know, and I'm just going to say this, Coach, and I'm going to let you go back. See, me, and you've heard me say it. Everybody's heard me say it, whether I'm with you guys or whether I'm by myself or whether, you know, I'm on anybody's show or whatever. I don't care whether another team sees my playbook or not because I'm going to have at least 1,500 pages in it. All right? And it's going to be a thing where I may line up like this. I may audible out of it. I may have about 15 or 20 audibles out of this one formation that I have. It might be a slight adjustment here, a slight adjustment there. So you're not going to know what it is that I come up to the line with if I come in an I formation and 4 wide receivers, trips left, trips right, tight end in the backfield. You don't know what I'm getting ready to do. But Zach Robinson impresses me as though his playbook is on the Waffle House menu. And that's all you got. You know, that's the impression I get about his playbook. And it was the same thing with Mike Smith. And let me see, to a degree, Dirk Cutter. All right. I want my team to be, excuse me. I want my offensive coordinator to be innovative. I want him to be a wizard, a master. That's why and I'm going back some. That's why I didn't want to have an offensive coordinator learning on the job. Because guess what? The quarterback you drafted is learning on the job. The quarterback that you picked to start the season had more in the tank as far as knowledge, skills, and abilities than the offensive coordinator. So I'm asking the question, and I asked the question then, okay, if the quarterback out there messing up, does the offensive coordinator have the panache to talk to the quarterback and say, hey, you're messing up? Without the quarterback doing like Pat Beverly was trying to, well, that's something else. I ain't gonna get it. But, you know, it's the same thing. You know, the student is trying to tell the teacher what to do. And that just rubbed me the wrong way. Now, you know, if you had a seasoned offensive coordinator here, I know that person would be able to, okay, like Winston was saying, I got a right tackle hurt, I got a center hurt, got 2 wide receivers hurt. Okay, let me put this piece of offense together. You know, kind of like what old Chucky did down there in Tampa Bay right after Tony Dungy got fired. That wasn't no hellified offense they had down there in Tampa Bay. That was some junk that they just pieced together with a horrible quarterback, but good wide receiver. Someone who knew what to do. And at this point, I'm not comfortable with Zach Robinson. I'm just not comfortable with him because he doesn't impress me as knowing what to do.
So let me ask you this. What about last year when we had a veteran quarterback in Kirk Cousins and, you know, there was a stretch before Kirk got hurt, man. We was putting 30 points up, you know, fairly easy. I think we had a 4 or 5 game stretch. We just putting up 30 points. You know, so say that again, Winston.
But Toddy,
it started.
I would say
it started week 5.
I would say this.
All of Kirktober.
I will say this. What I would say to that is, don't accept in a loss, don't accept in a win what you would in a loss. The
Oh
same
my God,
issues
man.
but how do
that we
how do
had on the field. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you the same issues that we had on the field, i.e., the stupid screens. I mean, there's numerous times everybody screamed that there is 3rd and 1, and instead of putting Algier in, you do Bijan and do some crazy play, another screen. You know, like it is glaring and huge things that you can point to. Yeah, just because we score, like for me, and I'm only speaking for me. Yes, I love a win, but I would like to be as close to perfect as humanly possible because I want to see my team win the Super Bowl finally. And I don't think what we have in that room calling the plays will get us there because I see things like even in the 5 games of us scoring 30 points, you do 4 screen passes in a row. You do a 3rd and 1 more than once and
coach,
don't put in, Tyler Algier.
you putting up 35 plus points. Again, you can have a grievance with literally anything, but are your grievances realistic? Like if somebody hand me, like if I'm dead broke, somebody hand me $10 million, I can be mad and say, well, why you didn't give me 15, motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Is that a realistic grievance?
Right. Okay. Until that, I would say yes, because who were we playing? We had a super easy schedule that we seen.
Coach. We put up 36 on Tampa last year.
Come on.
When Tampa didn't have when Tampa, as everyone likes to point out, injuries, when Tampa didn't have their best players on the field.
Come on, Coach.
Facts is facts.
But Coach, I feel like that's a cop out. Like, at the end of the day, you only can play who's on your schedule. You can't control. Who's hurt, who's healthy. At the end of the day, all 32 teams are NFL teams. That's the only thing you do is control who's on your schedule.
Absolutely, but are you a different team when your Pro Bowl starters are not playing?
That's a cop out, Coach.
No, I agree. I agree with you, Toddy. I agree. You can only play who you play. You can only play who is in front of you. I wholeheartedly agree. I don't make excuses for injuries. All I am saying is they didn't have their main players. It's still on us to go out there and win the game. Absolutely. But that will contribute to a portion of us being able to win the game.
Coach, along that same vein of what you just said, would us being down starting right tackle and second string tackle and both your receivers out, don't that change how you have the call the game, the mitigate?
Right. Exactly.
I will say no, because again,
one way and then it's not applicable.
No, you're not. You didn't hear. Clearly, you didn't hear what I said.
I heard exactly what you said.
Clearly, you didn't, because what I just said was you still have to play the game how you played the game. It just mitigates some of the outcome. So if Tampa Bay is missing all of their starters, you still have to go out and whoop their ass because you're playing against them. Will that change the baby, you beat them by 45 and not beat them by 10? There's two totally different things. I'm not making excuses for nothing.
If my starters are out, would I not sit there and change my play call to accentuate the players that I got?
Sure, some of them, but you're saying it like he changed the whole playbook, and on top of that, none of the issues are coming from the place that you're screaming that the issues are at.
He did the exact same thing last year when Kurt was still trying to get himself back up to speed. When he actually opened the playbook, it was week 5 when we played Tampa Bay. And in that game, what did Kirk do? Kirk had 509 yards, set the franchise passing record, and then he took it, and the offense that we actually wanted to run, You saw that for the remainder of the season.
Wait,
Whether it was
wait,
Kirk
I'm
as a
confused.
quarterback,
I'm
or if it was
confused
Michael Penix.
because I'm confused because I know for a fact you were telling me last year that the playbook wasn't open because Kirk Cousins was hurt.
That's why we was in the pistol formation. We got out of the pistol formation week 5. That's literally why we was in the pistol formation. We played 4 games where we were predominantly in the pistol. The same thing that's going on right now with the right tackle being down. The exact same thing. Now, then after Kirk really got up to speed and their ankle was sturdy, what did? We opened the playbook up. Then we went on a run. The exact same playbook that you saw from week 5 to week 18 is the same. That's the offense that we run. We're not a
no. I'm not talking about week 5. I'm talking about when Kirk was going down and you were screaming for Penix to get in the game, and Penix got in the game. And I distinctively remember it very well because I said, damn, I didn't see, I literally asked you, I said, hey, Winston, I didn't see the playbook open up. And we had a huge debate about it. So it wasn't just week 5 that you were screaming at. You were screaming at all the way up until Penix got in the game.
To the end of the season, we ran a full offense the way we wanted to run our offense.
Okay.
Now look at the numbers that Penix put up in his 3 starts. Look at the numbers that he put up in those 3 starts.
Gotcha.
I want to say he was close to 1,000 yards. He wasn't that far off of 1,000 yards in 3 starts. He wasn't that far from it. It's the same offense that we ran from week 5 to the end of the season. Now, look at week 1 of this year. Penix almost threw for 300 yards. If YoungHoe Koo had made that field goal, we wouldn't even having this conversation. Now go to the Minnesota game. Minnesota kept their safeties deep. They would not bring a safety in the box for nothing on earth. Why? Because they were scared that Penix was going to throw the ball over their head. So what did Zach do? All right, you want to snap the D-pad? I'm gonna run the ball down your throat. You can get tired of this. Either I'm gonna break your back or I'm gonna keep going up and down the field with the run, and I'm just gonna beat your team. It's one of the two.
It's one
Brian
of the two.
Flores didn't make the adjustment and bring a safety in the box to stop the run. You can't, there was nothing wrong with that play call. That play call in Minnesota, there was nothing wrong with it. People just want to see the Madden numbers. Every game ain't gonna play out that way. I'm sorry, it's not. It's the NFL. They're professionals just like you is.
Yeah, can I ask you a question? Who said anything about Madden numbers? My question that you still have yet to answer is, how did it work?
We won. That's how it worked.
Oh, okay.
We won.
Okay.
Then our rushing attack put up over 200 yards.
So if our offense don't score a single point and our defense scores all the points, that means our offense had a successful day because we won, right?
Defense didn't score though, coach.
No. I'm asking. He said it worked because we won. My question is, if the offense scores 0 points and all our points come from the defense, from taking from safeties to pick sixes to all of that. If the defense solely wins us the game and gets us all our points, that means the offense had a successful game because we won, right?
Isn't your field goal kicker an extension of the offense? Because I don't know a defensive play.
Did I say anything about a field goal? Answer my question. If the defense does nothing but score, does that mean your offense had a productive day? That means your offense was good.
We had over 200 yards on the ground. That's good.
That's good.
Okay.
And
you're right.
I'm sorry.
You're right. You're right.
Coach, you saying
right.
a whole different total analogy, just trying to prove a point to something that doesn't have to do with the situation of this game. Come on, Coach.
I'm wondering where you're going.
Because for the simple fact it is, they went with, as an offensive coordinator, I come in with the approach. If that approach is not working, then I have to make an adjustments to my approach. Zach Robinson did that, bro. He said,
how James?
Because for the
what was the adjustment?
So the adjustment was what Winston said. You got 2 deep safeties in the backfield. So what I'm gonna do to you? I'm gonna run the ball on you, and that's what he did. He ran the ball.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Hindsight is 2020. Hindsight
Now
is
listen,
It
2020.
is.
display the tie they got up. Display the tie they got on the screen. I haven't seen it. I don't know which one it is. I'm pretty sure I can sit there and tell you this though. I bet you that secondary, the safeties are gonna stay deep, and I bet you when all the secondary players and the linebackers are playing inside shade, inside leverage. So that goes. So for me to throw the ball over the middle of the field, somebody's gonna pick that.
So
Now
so
I
you
haven't
so
seen the
you're
play.
saying
Nobody on
so
this
you're
panel said
saying
What
that
the
they
hell?
between
seen this
What
play.
the hell?
because
What
Play,
the
play,
because
hell?
play,
What
play,
the
somebody's
hell
play,
you
playing
laughing like
cover
some
play,
two
damn
high
soap opera
safety
villain for?
play,
that you
play the
don't
tape.
throw the
Play the
ball.
time.
That's what you and James want me to believe.
I'm sorry. What did you say that again?
I said you're both of you guys are trying to
But
get me to believe that Zach is a good offensive coordinator because he didn't throw the ball because there's a too high cover two probably man safety. I mean,
coach, hold
he's
on.
throwing the
Coach,
cover
hold,
too
coach, hold
high.
on.
Is that
Why
what
would
you're
I
Coach, hold
saying?
force?
on.
Why would I force the ball? Why would I force throwing the ball when I can beat you running the ball? That makes absolutely no sense. That
At
makes
Okay.
all.
absolutely no sense.
And when
If
the
I
running
can
game been
beat you
working
running
all
the
game.
ball, if I can beat you running the ball, why would I sit there? You have a higher probability of a turnover throwing the ball than what it is putting that ball on the ground
See
and
Damn.
rushing.
what you
So
guys are
why would I sit
missing.
there and force it?
What you
Why
guys
would I
are
force the throw?
missing is football. What we're talking about now, and how you're saying this is what he's thinking. That's hindsight. During the game, up until the last 5 minutes, the game was very close. At any moment, Minnesota could have scored and been right back in the game. So
Hey,
if
they
you're
could have.
telling,
They
so if
they
you're
could have.
telling me that an offensive coordinator in the NFL is looking at his team play a very close game to where a team is very much still in it, they're very much still in it. He's looking at that and saying, "Hey, I'm only scoring field goals." The score right now is 12-6. They are literally one score away from having more points than us. And you're telling me an offensive coordinator during the game is going to say to himself, "Okay, I'm gonna just continue to run the ball and kick field goals." You cannot get me to believe that that is his thought process.
Bruh,
Y'all are saying
bruh,
that
So
because the
bruh,
game
bruh,
is
bruh,
over and we won.
bruh.
During the game, there is no way in hell he is sitting looking saying to himself, "I'm just going to keep running the ball and we kick field goals." He
for
wants to
for
do
for the
something else. He
for
would be
the exact
stupid
for the
not to
exact
want to do
reason
something
that you
else.
said that said for the exact reason that you sat there and said, all right, they're on. It's a close game. It's a close game. They can score one. They can score one time and have the lead on us. Right? Okay. What is my defense doing? They playing lights out. Back. Okay. What do I need to do? Keep their offense off the field. How do I go about doing that? Because they letting me run the ball. I'm gonna keep running the ball and kill the clock. I'm gonna grind the clock out. That's common
Basically,
sense. I don't need to
that's common
force
sense
anything.
football.
I don't
That's
have
common
to
sense
force
football.
anything.
Yeah, that right that comment that Ghost Peppers is putting up, it literally is I mean I don't even understand why I'm going back and forth right now. That is literally what I mean. It is. If you can sit with a straight face and tell me that a coach during the game,
But
when a game is close, don't think about in game adjustments and creativity, then I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you.
but see
Coach,
the thing
coach,
is,
coach,
coach. Let me
coach,
say this.
coach.
Let me say this right quick. But the thing is, coach, if I got something that's working, if why in the hell would I
How is
need to
it
be
working,
out?
James? Explain to me how it's working.
Because I have over 200
He
yards
ran
on the
for
ground.
200 yards.
So what? We just
And my
established that that's empty. We just
hold on,
established that's empty yards.
hold on. We let you cook. Let me cook. So when you got over 200 yards on the ground, and I'm controlling my defense is controlling that offense, I'm gonna try to do the best way I can to run this clock and get these people off the field. Ain't no way in that damn game right there in Minnesota that JJ McCarthy was gonna put them back in the perspective to win the game. From the way he was getting sacked, the way his offensive line was playing, and the way he was overthrowing that ball.
Hey,
Ain't no
hey,
He
way he
hey,
was
literally
gonna
just did it the week before.
James,
He
James,
but
hold on.
literally
Let,
just did it
let,
the week before.
let,
but ain't
let,
no
let,
way
let me
that
let me add let me
at that
add this.
point in that game.
Let me
He
add this
literally
because
just did it the week
that's the
before.
reason
That's
why
a
I asked the
different
question.
team. We talking a
After he
lot
asked the
team.
question.
We couldn't run
I
last week.
knew where he was trying to go with it. That's the reason why I asked the question after he asked the question. And I said, did they score? Did the offense put up any point? Did we score as a team at all? He said no. He said zero. He said zero. I knew
Right,
where he was trying
because
to
we
go with it
we
because
we we
he was
really
trying to
didn't
negate
score.
what we
I
did
mean,
on
if
rushing.
if you count them letting you
How did
walk
we
in
not
as a
score if we
score,
put up
okay, you
22
got it.
points? How
But
did
that's
we
why I
not
said
score
that.
if we
Coach,
put up 22
coach,
points?
you are so full of shit right now, man. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
how did we not score if we put up 22 points? Because defense damn sure ain't score. Defense haven't
I,
scored a
I
defensive
just said,
touchdown yet.
if y'all count them opening the gates and literally letting you walk in as a score, like as a good
No,
thing, then so be it.
I'm
So be it.
That's
not
only
counting
7
that
points.
score.
That's only 7
The
Okay,
points.
game was
So
the
what did
rest
over
y'all
of
do?
it
when we
came
put up
from
15 points. The game
Where
was
did the
again.
over
15
when we
points
put
from?
up
Because
15
I
points, coach.
I
They was
I
not
don't
going to
I
score.
don't know a kicker in NFL history that could sit there and make an 80-yard field goal. So where did the other 15 points come from? Obviously, the offense had to get up the field to score a field goal. So
Yeah,
And that's
I'm
that's
all,
the
not
that's
reason
about
why
to
all
I
we
asked the
repeat
did.
question.
myself, because if you had to listen, me and James literally just went over this. Me and James literally went over what you're trying to come at me with. I said, and I will repeat it again. I said, yes, the defense was moving the ball, but Minnesota was bending and not breaking. All we did was score field goals, to which James replied, that means we were moving the ball. And I said to James, bruh, you only literally have to get to the 40-yard line to make a very makeable, albeit 60 yards, but very makeable kick at the 40-yard line. That's all you need to get. So if you telling me that your defense just getting to the 40-yard line and kicking your offense just gets to the 40-yard line and kicks 5 field goals, mean that what you're doing is successful. I mean,
Well,
I
coach,
just
we
have
didn't
no
know that.
response to that.
Coach, we
Period.
didn't know what our kicker. Coach, we didn't know what our kicker was gonna do. Okay, you remember going to the game? We didn't know what our kicker was gonna do. So you can't say that's what he was thinking. He was hoping we were going for touchdowns, but since the touchdowns failed, he had to put the kick out there. But the point is, we was
Say that
moving the
again,
fucking
Red.
ball,
Say
and
that
after
again, Red.
15 points, after
Repeat what you just
15
said.
points,
Say it again.
what?
We wanted to do what? Say that what you just said again.
Well, you want to score a touchdown every drive, but the point is, after we put up 15, after that 15 point, we didn't need any more points because our defense was kicking their ass, and it wasn't enough time for them to do
Why
anything else.
why
So
didn't
of
why
course
didn't
we're
we
gonna
score
gang for
why
it.
didn't we score touchdowns, Red?
Well, I guess we didn't make the plays enough to go touchdowns, but we still made enough plays to get some points.
Because they stopped us, right? They
Or either
stopped
we
us from
stopped
score, right?
or we stopped ourselves. We stopped
Oh,
ourselves because
either
We
way,
stopped. We
either
stopped
way,
ourselves in some cases because
okay.
yeah,
Either way,
okay.
either
even
way,
this
we didn't score, right?
even this video on the
But coach,
screen.
the point is, you said
Really,
we
we can
Is
talking
see
that where
about
one
the
London?
time.
offense.
That where London gave it up?
No, that's when Penix didn't hit Bijan in enough time so he can make a play.
Oh.
Off in the flat.
What's up, Tidy and crew?
What's going on, Tay?
What's up, bro? How
What's
y'all
going on, bro?
doing?
All right, what's
Good,
shaking?
brother.
What's up,
That's
brother?
Tay. What's going on, Tay?
What's up,
Man,
Tidy?
Taylor
What's the
snuck in this jump.
That
the
is the
question for
Youngin,
offense
the
and
panel?
field
Youngin.
call in the second half perfectly,
Taylor
coach.
snuck in
In
the
the
back
second
door like
half,
Boogie
we
Nights.
call what we need to call to get this game moving.
Tay, we asking if Zach Robinson is holding the offense back.
To
Hold
answer
on,
that,
I need to refresh.
it's too. I say it's too early to really answer that.
That's what we told coach.
Yeah, it's too early. I mean, that was the second
Nah, you
game.
didn't tell me. I said that.
It's too early, but
We told
yeah. I mean, Zach. I mean, for one, the players got to execute though. Players got to execute the plays. Of course, I'm pretty sure Zach and the coaches, they want touchdowns. But if the defense, if Brian Flores' defense is playing a good game, they're playing a good game. If they bending and not breaking, that's just what it is. We take the field goals, keep points up, because let's say we go for it on fourth down in the red zone. We don't get any points at all. So, but that's really it for me on that one.
Yeah, now, and I'm gonna jump in here again. You know, see, listening to the discussion. Um, I just want variety. If you go, okay, that this is the way that I am. If you gonna line up and put 500-600 pound linemen up there, two tight ends snorting, and it's cold, and you need a yard, and it's only a second left on the clock, and everybody in the stadium knows you getting ready to run, and it's a play action pass to a man wide open over there in the corner of the end zone. We acting a damn fool. Got him. Fooled him. Got him. Yeah, play work. It was straight. That's what I want to see from time to time. But if you do line up in that 5 down lineman, 600-pound apiece, rip snorting, running back in the backfield, and you knock them on their behind going over the top, I want to see that too. Now the thing is that some of these plays work, some of these plays don't. Some of these plays are defense perfectly, some of them aren't. But I want to see variety in what it is that you do. And look, gentlemen, one thing we got to remember also, we went and got $100 million quarterback because we wanted to be diverse like that. We paid the money that we paid for Kirk Cousins because we wanted to be diverse like that, because we could run prior to Kirk Cousins coming here. We went and got a Michael Penix because Michael Penix was supposed to be the heir apparent to Kirk Cousins. Once, we had used all the Kirk Cousins we wanted to use, and we were going to throw that tube of toothpaste away. See, so I understand, and you guys are absolutely right. This game plan, it worked. It definitely worked because of how the game eventually turned out. I just don't want to be married or saddled with a game plan like that, because thing is, and it's just like in basketball for me. You let a team hang around, one mistake, one error on defense, touchdown. And see, and if you think about it, when Tampa Bay played us and when Tampa Bay played the Texans, wasn't it a Baker Mayfield getting loose that determined the outcome of both of those games? Because definitely this Texans game, because the Texans, they were both beating each other up on offense. It was a fourth and 15, 4th and 19 or something of that nature that Baker Mayfield got out from back there in the backfield. And next thing you know, Tampa Bay scored a touchdown. No time left to recover. It was one play in a close game. And that's, and Falcons in close games, that's the best recipe for a Pepto-Bismol float than anything you could ever drink. I'm just saying. Hey, Red, you ain't never. I've had to have plenty of Pepto-Bismol and baking soda floats behind these close games. And
well, John, thanks to you.
I'm the type of person, and Winston knowing everybody know that about me. Look, blow that joke, blow them out in the first quarter, and then send the practice team in for the rest of the game. That's what I want to do. Get them under my foot as soon as I possibly can, and we cruise on the rest of the way. But reality is something else entirely. You can't
Yeah,
win games like that. You can't
reality,
win them all
like the
like that.
probability of that,
And
the
these
probability
games
of that
here,
is so low.
these are games that test your mettle, that let you know who you are as a team. When you go out there and dominate a team and see a team as hapless as Minnesota was, hey, I'm expecting 55, 60 doggone point. I want a college score rung up on them. That's the way that
John,
I am as far as people like that.
John,
And
but we still, you gotta think, we still.
I find myself on both sides of the fence all at the same time, because I see the points that both of you guys on either side of the fence are making. But and I'm a Madden man. I'm a Madden. I'm sorry, Winston. I'm a Madden person. I want to bust the clock. Scoreboard, we got room for 99 points. Go get them. Bust it.
Well, we
But
And
busted the
see,
clock. We busted the clock, sort of, John. We just didn't bust the clock
but
complete.
like Tay said, it is kind of early. All of these defensive and offensive stats that you have in week 2, man, you got 15 more games to play. Them things liable to go up, down, sideways, up,
Right.
down, sideways, depending upon how everybody performs. So, I don't, I would, at this particular juncture, I would be reluctant to quote offensive stats, things of that sort, in a defense or a rebuttal to anybody, trying to rank an offensive defense at this early stage of the season. Because, man, we got a lot of football to play. But then again, 17 weeks will pass by so fast it'll make your head swim.
John, let me ask you this. Based on what you just said, you said you wouldn't quote stats in terms of being like top 5, top 10 defense because it's too early. Did I hear you correct?
Yeah, defense
Right.
or offense.
Right. So couldn't that same argument be made about Zach Robinson?
Yeah, it can be. Definitely.
Exactly.
Oh, were you expecting me to say something
They,
else?
they,
No.
they,
Oh, that's what I was expecting. That's that because that's what I started off with. I said it's just too early.
Yeah,
I think around week 10, week 11, then we can really break down this Zach Robinson topic.
yeah,
So
you know exactly what you
Because
got.
see, last year weren't we saying the same thing last year around
correct,
about
exactly.
week 10 and week 11?
I
We,
was
we were talking
No,
about it going
because
all
at
the
that
way up
time,
until the
that's
end of
when
the
Kirk
year.
was in his slump.
Hey, coach, you went back muffled. What were you?
I said we talked, we literally on your show and on Tidy's, we talked about it all the way up until damn near the last game. I have been on in my exact position where I am right now all through last year, all this year. But just to be clear, Toddy, I did also agree with you and say for everyone else, it is entirely too early. I think a lot of people will see tomorrow if he doesn't do certain things. But I agree with you. For y'all, it's too early. I see what I see already, and I know it ain't it. So, I'm made up. So, yeah, for most, it's too early. I get it.
Cause see, okay. Now, overall, it's kind of early. But you remember last week some of the plays down near the goal line. That those lateral plays to the goal line, those screens, those things. Yeah, we can't. We have not been able, and I think I might have brought this out. And I'm sorry if I'm dominating the conversation right now, but
no. Go ahead, Jay.
I ain't got long. I ain't got long anyway. So I'm as old as I is. Let me have a minute or two here. Those screens, I don't care who the offensive coordinator was. We cannot execute a screen. We cannot, for the most part. Now there have been times where everything is hit perfectly, but those were very few times. No matter who it was that was offensive coordinator. And when I see a screen attempted, or these jet passes or these jet sweeps where you're going lateral to try to find a hole to go up in, and you're right on the goal line. Now, some of those individual plays make my skin wrinkle like, I'm 80 years old. It gets my heart started doggone fluttering because I'd be cranking up ready to, what the hell is it? That's the first thing come to my mind, because the goal line is in front of you. Why are you going around the corner to go to the goal line? Load it up, take it on in there, throw it on in there, street, whatever you need to do. It's certain plays that I see the offensive coordinator call that we attempt to execute that looks like it has absolutely no kind of way that it's going to work, because we needed to have worked on a little bit more. And then it goes back into the conversation of doing it in the preseason, the starters being in the preseason, things of that sort. So that's the thing that really rankles me from time to time about the offensive coordinator. So that's where I am.
The thing with me on this debate is like what we just said about 15-20 minutes ago. When you look at the offense last year, especially when you had a veteran quarterback like Kirk Cousins, who was, who had found this groove and was playing good, we putting up points like we're supposed to, and the offense doesn't take a dip until Kirk gets quote unquote hurt. And even when Penix comes in, we putting up 34 points a game. Offense is fine. In my opinion, your offense is fine. If you put up 30 points a game, your offense is fine. Whether you like the plays or not, your offense is fine. Now you come to the second season of Zach Robinson, you got two tough opponents. The very first 2 weeks, you got Tampa Bay, who's won this division the last 4 seasons. Then one thing that we really ain't mentioning, and I know some of y'all probably don't care, but you playing Minnesota in Minnesota, man, like that's a top 3 loudest stadium in the NFL. Them boys won 14 games last year. That's going to affect your offense. We saw it affect the offense yesterday when, they couldn't get the plays in. Penix in there holding his hand on his helmet because he can't hear shit. That all compounds to affect how officially the offense can run. So I keep saying, the jury's still out. I don't think you could come back with a innocent or guilty verdict just yet. We need to see some more evidence, and I think last year's evidence actually works in Zach Robinson's favor, in my opinion.
So Toddy,
and the thing to that, Toddy, that you just said about playing in Minnesota, you don't want to give them no momentum at all. Trying to be cute, turn the ball over. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, J.J. McCarthy's the quarterback, but that just goes to what you were saying about the stadium. You don't want to give them no momentum at all. Now, back to what you were saying, John, which I agree with. Sometimes a player come up and I say, that play ain't going to work. That's not going to work. Or I say, oh, I seen that run play coming, with the motion with Charlie Warner going to that same side, and we run to that same side. And then I get what you're saying, hit them with a play action. Not going to see it. Now, the last 3 games last year, though, we did lots of play action. We seen Michael Penix throw the ball deep down. Ray McLeod, London, Mooney. We seen Michael Penix throw that ball. We seen him stretch the field out. That's why I say it's too early as well, because I've seen it. So I say give about week 8, week 9.
And okay. Now there's one more thing that I wanna say, if you gentlemen don't mind.
Don't mind at all. Go ahead.
Okay. Tampa Bay won the division last year. That is true. But one thing that I want to make sure that history keeps in mind, we swept them. We did what we were supposed to do with Tampa Bay. Okay? Now, Tampa Bay won the division because we gave it up. I mean, those 4 games that we lost. I'm going to venture to say that we could have won all 4 of them, or at least 3 of them, and it wouldn't have been a problem. Even if Tampa Bay had won out, we had the same record. We would have gotten the division based on the head-to-head matchup because we took care of the business that we needed to take care of. Okay, so let's not act like our division has been a juggernaut in the NFL. Shoot, we win division titles with losing records during the course of the year. Okay, it ain't like same thing with the NFC East. The NFC East did it. Okay, and that's why the calls for reseeding. Hey man, why the hell am I sitting home when them sorry suckers over there? They got in the playoffs with a 7-9. What the hell is going on here? So I just have to say that, Tidy, because Tampa Bay won a division. Yes, they did, but it was because they got up, we fell down.
Okay, John, let's stay right now. Would you agree or disagree? Probably the biggest factor of us giving it up, to quote you, is because of the quarterback issue toward the third quarter of the season with Kirk Cousins and him getting hurt in the New Orleans game.
Yes, I 100%, 100% getting hurt and lying about it.
Right. So if he don't get hurt, in all probability, the team continues to play good football like they were during that stretch where they were scoring a whole lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
The scoring didn't stop until Kirk got hurt. Let the record show. The scoring didn't stop until Kirk got hurt. We were scoring enough points to win, even though the defense would win by shit last year. As I keep saying, when Penix came in, we kept scoring. I don't even think people are really upset about the offense, how the offense performed week 1 of this year against Tampa. I just think people got real vocal based on the Minnesota game and how we dominated the run game, and we missed a lot of opportunities in the red zone. And y'all know in football that's going to happen from time to time, from high school all the way up to the pros.
But Toddy, the great thing you're missing that we said
and the
from
turnovers and the
last year.
sacks, and then I think those are probably the 2 biggest ones: the Billy Bowman interception and the Zach Harrison sack with the fumble. Those 2 plays just turn into field goals instead of touchdowns. And then I think a lot of people, they want to see those turnovers turn to 7 points instead of 3 points.
I agree. I wanted to see that watching the game. I agree.
Because I wanted to see it too, especially on the Billy Bowman interception, because we was like, inside the 30, inside the 40. I'm like, we could have scored a touchdown here. Then we end up selling for what?
Cause see, me,
I'm
one of those folks. I don't care if they got 5 high safety down there. Fling it down there and see if you can get you a pass interference call or something. Just fling it down there. One doggone time.
We got a Julio, John. We got to get a Julio Jones.
John.
John, say we still got Julio Jones.
I told y'all I'm a mad person. Man, look here. I'm gonna fling it down there and run into somebody, and then I'm gonna go to the pitch. I'm gonna hold my hands up. Hey, man.
See, John, we couldn't do that against Minnesota because they safety was playing deep.
Yeah, I know.
So Judge trying to get a cheap pass interference call.
Cause see, they do it to us.
Throw the flag. Throw the flag.
We might be as innocent as a lamb going to the slaughter with a smile on our face, 10 yards away from the plate. What?
Smile on my face.
You looked over there, 15 yards. They do it to us. Cause see, man, and with the way that the league calls pass interference now, man, look. y'all tell me. A lot of those calls that a lot of those non-calls that we get, a lot of those non-calls that come to us, we get interfered with. And
Hold
see
on, Jack.
something else too now. Something else too. Now, our
Yeah, I can
defense
hear
is
you.
playing lights out.
Yeah, we
But
can hear you.
gentlemen, we got a lot of holding calls last week in our favor. We got a lot of holding calls in our favor last week versus week 1 when it was just like we had handles of super glue on us. The way them jokers were holding us getting in that backfield, it was ridiculous.
Well, see,
You
the
know,
thing is, as well, when we was getting back there making those sacks, them referees gonna watch them linemen. They're gonna watch the old line holding us like the way they were. You
last
know,
week, but not against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, man, the joke has swallowed the whistle, and he had swallowed the whistle and was looking for another one to eat. I mean, these jokers weren't calling nothing. You know, and see, that's why, I went on Big Lowe's show. Look, I need me 3 gravel eating, bear hugging, bean eating, snapdragons to go back there and walk at 300 some pounds. I want to see the ground shake when they walk, so they can take about 2 or 3 people with them, and we'll have some room to go through natural holes to get to the quarterback without being held.
now, John, I say this real quick.
The
I say
defense
this.
playing too good, John. I don't really need no changes.
Yeah, that too. And then with the pressure rate we getting now, you're gonna see a little bit more holding calls. Because that's what I'm saying. The league is seeing that our pass rush is something serious. Now, granted, of course, it's been 2 games, granted, but they're starting to see that the Atlanta Falcons pass rush is becoming something serious. So those holdings, it's gonna be noticeable.
You got dogs.
I certainly hope so. Well, hey, Tay, them jokers ain't been seeing, and you all were talking about it earlier. They sure didn't see all those people off sides on those 3 tush pushes. I mean, man, look, man, that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. And see, me, and I'm just gonna hit on this just for a second. If I was a referee, before I put that ball down on the ground, I walk right in between both lines. Get back, and set the ball right there. Anybody come in this spot, offsides, whether it be defense or offense, whichever way it is. That'll solve all that. And then we'll see whether this tush push actually works, because the way that those jokers were crowding up on the line of scrimmage, and you guys were saying you couldn't see where the ball was. Okay, you couldn't see where the ball was. You didn't know where the man went across the goal line or what. You didn't know whether anybody was offside. But then after the play, when you look at the overview or the overhead vision, you seeing Joker, man, look, I don't even know where they spotted the ball. The quarterback might have had the ball at the beginning of the damn play. Ain't no telling, but that's here and there. So I'm going to leave that where it is. Red, John, I'm through, Red. I'm through.
John, they smile in your face. All time won't take your place.
But, hey, I can't hear y'all. Am I frozen?
You can't hear us?
Hello?
You can't hear me?
I hear you now. I didn't hear you a few seconds ago. I thought I was just talking.
No, can you hear me?
Okay.
You hear me, John?
But you cut out again, Tidy. Or maybe that's me. I'm up here in Calhoun.
I had just stopped talking. Where you going? You headed to Buc-ee's?
Oh, well, that's where I'm sitting at. I'm sitting in Buc-ee's now. I had I went by Ron's. To drop off something he was needing, and I said I'm gonna pull over in here and talk with y'all for a minute. I didn't know how long you were gonna be on, so I said, man, let me talk with y'all, because I was listening to y'all where I was getting the signal, because I didn't get a signal up there. Ron on the computer. Me, I'm on this old AT&T string and tin can system. So
you was up in Ron neighborhood. What are you up to?
Yeah, I can't hear you, man. My signal going in and out. That's what's going on. That's what's happening.
Oh, okay.
I'm surprised Ron ain't slide through.
No, what? Winston, Tidy, can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
I
hey,
can hear you.
Oh, okay, well then, yeah, it is.
I'm surprised Ron ain't slide through yet.
Red, say something.
I'm talking. I tell you, John, that
See, I
Bucky's
can't, I can't,
Wi-Fi.
yeah, I can't hear
I
y'all.
know.
See, my
Get out
signal
of
is, if you
Bucky's.
can hear me, my signal is going in and out. So,
Yeah,
That,
hey,
but
that,
Bucky's ain't got no Wi-Fi. You need to get out that
yeah,
Bucky's parking lot.
that's me. That's
that
Get
me.
on
might
that
be
highway.
that might be a StreamYard issue because I've been seeing people say they can't hear certain people during the streams within the last few weeks. So it could be a StreamYard issue.
Yeah. But
Damn, John,
Red,
you
I
missing
can't
my
hear
good
you,
one
Red.
line. I
I,
know.
ca-
You
I
missing
can't
my
hear
good
you,
one
Red.
liners, man.
Don't
Well,
yell.
listen,
Don't
you
don't
gonna have to
don't
stay
don't mess your
tuned.
voice up, Red, because that's a circuit.
I
That's
tell
a
No,
y'all,
circuit.
sir.
I tell y'all what. Jumping to our final subject, y'all. We'll go around the panel real quick, and everybody get a score prediction and what you think your keys will be to winning the Carolina game. We'll start with you, Coach.
All right, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Unfortunately.
I say the keys to our success is, what our last hour has been about. Can our offensive coordinator draw up a game plan that goes to the strength of our team and against the weakness of the other team? If we do that, I have no doubt that not only will we will win how we should, and that's by blowing them out.
Did you get your prediction?
So my prediction, and I will actually give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he will do this. So my prediction will be 27-7.
All right. Y'all keep going. I got to grab this call real quick, but y'all just keep going around the panel. I'll be right back.
Okay. When
Oh,
you want to go? All right,
it
I go.
don't, it don't matter.
All right. Personally, Coach. First of all, let me say I vehemently disagree with you when you say tomorrow is the be all, the end all to our offense. Because I'm gonna tell you this right here: Carolina Panthers run defense is one of the worst in the NFL. So personally, if the Falcons want to go out and throw another 200 yards on the ground on them, I wouldn't mind, and I personally would expect them to do so if they know how trash Carolina run defense is. So I personally don't even expect the playbook to open up that much tomorrow. If our defense playing like they did in week 2, and Bijan and Tyler bringing it tomorrow, which technically they should, because Carolina run defense is trash, then man, you might see Penix have another laid back game managing day. And as long as if we scoring points and we got the lead on them, if our defense setting the tone for the game, and I expect them to do that because Carolina is a trash team, and I expect to beat their asses up and really send a message to them physically, and I mean physically, you know what I'm talking about? Because I expect our offense to open up the next 2 weeks versus the Commanders, which I expect Jalen to be back, and versus the Bills against Josh Allen. But tomorrow versus the Panthers, man, 28-12, tidy. Another 200 rushing on the ground. If Penix want to throw for 150, 200 himself, fine. But I expect us to dominate this thing on the ground, physical game, defense pounding that little mighty mouse punk again. Maybe 5-6 sacks. I don't care. I just want to beat him on the ground. I want him running for his life. I want him doggone just terrorized out there. And if they do that, that to me is a satisfied victory. But as long as we in tomorrow 2-1, I'm good. But my prediction, 28-12, a heavy dose of Bijan and Tyler again. Penix, just no turnovers. Manage the game. If you see another big play down the field, take it, big dog. But hey, don't listen to coach. Don't be out there trying to please him by throwing shots down the field, having turnovers because you want to please coach. Man, forget coach, man. Play this game how the game dictates, okay? And that means running that ball down Carolina's throat because they ain't got no run defense. That's what we're going to do, coach. So sorry, you're going to be disappointed again.
I'm convinced Georgia does not teach comprehension skills. I'm so convinced of that.
All right, so let's keep going, y'all. Next up, we got James Holloway. Your keys to victory and also the your score prediction. Do we got James still on? All right, so we'll jump to Tate in.
Oh shit! I was about to say I go, but all right.
Shit, you want to go, Winston? Because I know you.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. I go last.
I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with you, Red. I'm gonna say this is gonna be a balanced game. I'm gonna say we're gonna hit them with a pass attack and a rushing attack. I say Michael Penix, 2 touchdowns. I say Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, they're gonna do their thing. I mean, it might be a run dominant game, but I feel like it may be balanced a little bit more as well this game compared to we playing Minnesota last week. The defense, Mr. Bryce Young himself missed the last game. Want to throw a touchdown and turn his head around. I say we getting 3+ sacks, 2 interceptions, and I'm gonna have a big bold prediction. We're gonna get a pick 6 off of him.
All right, that'll help my fantasy team, big dog.
Hey, and my score, I got 30-6.
30-6. I love it. I love it.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it.
That
John,
works for me, Tay.
what you got? Your score prediction and also your keys to victory.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, I went out and came back in. It seemed to have improved everything. I can't give a score prediction because, see, I don't know what's going on. But I know what I want to see. I want to see 65-4.
John, your sign real bad, John.
I can't get it.
It sounds real bad, but I heard the score. He said 55-4.
Damn. How you hear the score after all that static, Tay? You making shit up.
Man, I heard. John, fix your audio. What you said? You said 55-4, right?
Tay heard that down through the grapevine.
John,
that's the only thing I heard was the score.
John, come out and come. 27-9. I love it. I love it. I love it. James Holloway, your keys to victory and your score prediction, sir.
Keys to victory is just keep the Falcons need to keep doing what they're doing on defense. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Bro.
Okay. Just keep doing what they're doing on defense. Offensively, just a balanced attack overall, and we should be fine. But I'm just gonna base it off the prior years that we played. That we played the Carolina. I give us 27-22. So we always been in tight games with Carolina.
Damn, man, too many points, man.
27-22. I like it. Everybody got us predicted to win. Hey, but let me go ahead and get out of here, y'all. I gotta meet my sister here in the next 15 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and check out real here. But I want to thank everybody for coming up. John, Winston, Red, Tay6, Coach, James. I appreciate it, y'all. Let's go ahead and get this dub tomorrow, and we'll try to do us a post game show tomorrow if y'all for it.
All right. Everybody have a good night, man.
All right, good night.
Bro,
Y'all be
I'm with
blessed. Peace.
Peace.